Chris,
I'll tell you every day of selection. What
Exactly
the
what
course
happened.
entails,
Yeah.
the names, where you're gonna be.
Is it true that they give you a hot, warm breakfast every day before selection starts?
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
that's
like
what I
there's
thought, yeah.
actually,
You get multiple meals, right?
multiple.
Yeah.
There's a masseuse on just for shoulders. You get just warmed up.
If it's cold, no, we're not training.
Fair
Yeah.
weather coxswain.
Yeah, fair weather coxswain.
So you have in your left comms, like the inner boat comms, right comms, all the other boat comms.
Yep.
Then in your inner ear, you have like 0, and then the other ear is like that
Command net, team net.
So then
There's a lot going on.
And there's like an embark. You have all this shit, and you're filtering it all out while you're still performing.
Yes.
At the highest level.
And making split-second
right?
decisions.
And none of it feels like pressure.
These engines alone.
Dude,
so
the
twin 300s or whatever's out there? More. Man, so like...
Well, when I was there, they were twin 400s.
Okay.
I can't confirm or deny that they might be higher.
Right. These things are massive engines.
They're motherfuckers.
This video is brought to you by Great Fox Strategic, Vortex Canada, Azimuth Collective, GameStrat, Cold Harbour Supply, and TYR Tactical. For 10% off your next purchase with Great Fox Strategic, use code TA10.
Team, happy to see everybody. Thanks for tuning in, watching, listening, and giving us the support. We truly appreciate it. So another episode of Direct Action Podcast. We've got a friend of mine, a former coworker at the unit. He was a coxswain. His name is Chris Matheson. Recently retired from the Canadian Armed Forces, did a lot for his country, did a lot for the unit, known as JTF2 as a boat coxswain. And he's going to talk us through his career a little bit, get to know him. Folks, thanks for tuning in. Chris, thanks for making the time, and I'm looking forward to chat.
Well, you pay very well, so I'm really happy to be here. No, it's awesome, man. Really happy to be here.
Just for the record, Chris did show up with payment. He brought me 6 chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah, well, because I was literally, like I said, I was sitting out on the patio the other day, just literally sitting there, tarps off, slobby, and I scrolling on YouTube, and there you are doing burpees. I'm like, so yeah, I brought you some cookies to
tone that down a little bit.
Just relax a little, okay? Calm down.
Oh, thanks for the cookies, man. I appreciate it. They won't get wasted.
Sorry, buddy.
All right, Chris, this is awesome, man. I look forward to this chat. I know the viewers and listeners will take something out of it for sure. I've had the great opportunity to have some great discussions over the last few months with folks that are in the Canadian Armed Forces who are interested. And they want to know more about what is the coxswain position? What do they do? How do you get there? What are some things that they want to consider for preparation and selection? So you'll talk about whatever you're comfortable with. Yep. But first, let's get to know you a little bit, Chris.
I'll tell you every day of selection. What
Exactly
the course entails, the names, where you're gonna be, timings.
Is it true that they give you a hot, warm breakfast every day before selection starts?
Yeah,
okay,
no,
that's
there's actually, you
get multiple meals, right?
Multiple.
Yeah.
There's a masseuse on just for shoulders. You get just warmed up. Yeah.
Right on.
We don't go when it's raining. If it's raining,
absolutely, yeah, no.
Bad weather.
No, if it's cold, no, we're not training.
Fair weather coxswain.
Yeah, fair weather coxswain. All right, buddy. Tell us a little bit about you. Where'd you grow up, man? What was your upbringing like? Brothers, sisters? What happened?
Man. Do you want the long story? No, I'll try to do the short story, which people that know me are going to be like, this is going to take forever. So I apologize. No, I grew up in PEI, Prince Edward Island, the East Coast. I just grew up on a potato farm in the country, Central North Shore, PEI.
Yeah.
So I just worked a lot in the fields.
Yeah.
Growing up, I have one brother, he's 9 years younger than me, Matthew. But yeah, kind of my upbringing was, I hung out with my grandparents a lot, the older generation, which was kind of back home. It's you go back, it's not one generation, it's
multiple.
Yeah. It's you're getting raised by a great grandparent or something.
Everyone's heavily involved for the most part.
Yeah, it takes that kind of village or whatever thing to say. Because my mom had me when she was pretty young.
Yeah.
So my grandparents, they were kind of I called my grandfather dad for a lot, even, well, he's passed now, but up until he did, I called him dad.
And so you call your granddad dad and your dad, or was your dad?
I don't know my biological father.
Okay.
No. I start crying 5 minutes. No, I'm not sure. Yeah, just like I said, like my mom had me when she was like 17.
Okay.
So like, and he wasn't too much older.
Okay.
So it's just.
And do you know the story? Did he like get freaked out, bounced, and he didn't want no part of an upbringing, a baby? Like, would you know what the story was?
Kind of a little bit, but it's hard because you kind of are only getting one side of the story.
Right.
Kind of like stuff I've heard from like my grandparents or mom or
Right.
things that I kind of remember.
Right.
And then I'd ask like, what happened in this situation? But then probably from my mom's own like
Sanity.
she's just compartmentalized some of those memories as well.
Sure.
So,
And do you feel like that maybe you've done the same thing? Like you've hung on to things that you feel are worth it, maybe valuable, and then just kind of disregarded some stuff that you may or may not know about your dad? Like I guess, you know, and you can tell me to piss off, man, if I'm prying, but I didn't live that. I was very lucky and fortunate. I had a dad that was very involved, and
That's awesome.
you know, he had no problems telling me when I fucked up, and he had no problems giving me a pat on the back when I actually did something decent.
Yeah.
For folks that didn't have that, I'm always intrigued and interested to know how does that feel, because I don't know, right? And I can't even empathize because I don't have that same reference point. So
Right.
for you, like, you know, was it something that you thought about often, not very often, or you just found a way to kind of work around it?
that's a good question. Could you say it again? No, I'm kidding. I don't even know what I asked.
So do you think about you know,
not really. I think I was super fortunate because like on paper, not the most traditional family dynamic. Mom worked a lot, like multiple jobs just to kind of provide.
Of course.
And then whenever we moved to the farm with my now ex stepdad,
Right.
it was just work. It was just, so I didn't really have that relationship with like
Right.
a man figure besides my grandfather.
Right.
But when it came to like parent dynamics, I was super fortunate to see some of my best buddies that I still have today.
Yeah.
Their parents were like that.
Okay.
So like I got to kind of see a real obvious difference.
Yep.
So I think I kind of just picked up things from seeing other people as well.
Interesting. And looking back at it, would it be safe to say that you saw that and you were gravitated to those friends? Because it'd be very easy to be gravitated to, you know, people on the other side of the tracks, right?
Yeah. Well, it seemed like, it honestly was weird. It's weird because like you kind of feel like something's off. It's like people don't have to maybe live, you know, paycheck to paycheck or like not struggling, but just kind of struggling, I guess.
Yeah.
And when you kind of see that, the differences of different personalities and like their success versus what you're surrounded by, it's kind of easy. It's kind of like a roadmap.
Right.
And I don't know what it was in me that I was able to see that, but pretty fortunate. I think it was just being around those friends that had solid family members, like the parents. Like,
It's good, man.
So lucky because a lot, you know, in the East Coast, man, like most people don't fall far from the tree.
That's right.
And it's usually like alcoholism or some sort of pogey stamps until, you know.
Yeah, a lot of that, man.
It's pretty rough. So
seasonal work and just work to get to enough to draw pogey was a common theme.
That's it.
You hear that a lot. It's, so you said you had a 9-year-old younger brother?
Yeah, Matthew.
Matthew, you guys pretty close?
Yeah, I left to go out west when I was like 18 to work on the rigs and stuff. And so he was quite a bit younger. So I did miss a decent portion of his life, which I wish I was back there for. But so there was there's big gaps in our kind of relationship.
Right.
And then, but now, like when we talk, like, like I can't wait to move back home. And
oh, cool.
It's going to be awesome.
What does he do?
He's like a carpenter, he's like a handyman type guy. He's one of those, it's so annoying. He's
can do it
so
all.
naturally smart. Where it's like, I have to study so hard just to like basically understand something.
Sure.
And you're like, man, how do you just understand?
Yeah.
So like carpentry is a great thing for him because he can
use his brain, use his hands.
That's right.
Good for him, man.
Yeah.
Right on. Good stuff. All right, so you said at 18 you took off. Not uncommon for folks in the East Coast looking for employment. They go out west. You know, the oil sands were booming at that time, and that's what you did as well.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Man. Like,
And what was that journey like?
it was nuts, man. Like my uncle Keith, like my mom's brother, he was a service rig manager. I don't know what the title was, but all my buddies that were finished high school were going off to university, like UPEI.
Right.
And I was like, I'd not even come close to qualify to go to university at this point. So I just called him. I was like, can I go out and work with you? And first time ever on a plane, like we drove to Moncton and then flew to Edmonton. And I was like, it was like a hillbilly. I'm like, look at these big buildings. Like there's things bigger than 6 stories in the world.
Look at this bus, it can fly. How does this bus fly like this?
It's crazy. So we literally landed in Edmonton and drove, I can't remember, Camrose or something, like a couple hours.
Yep.
Took our bags out of the work truck,
Yeah.
put our work clothes on and went to work.
Wow,
And
that
I was
quick.
like, I was like, what the hell's happening here? It was just
No
mental.
check-in, no safety brief, no signatures, just, we got some boys here that want to work, let's go. Come
It was
on.
crazy, man.
Wow, that's wild. That's loose.
Yeah, so it was a pretty eye-opening thing, but
Yeah.
growing up on the farm, I kind of had
You adapted quickly.
manual labor is just like, hey, just tell me what to do and I'll just do it.
Right.
But my uncle put me up on the, what's it called? It's like the second story part of it, maybe like 25 feet above the well floor.
Yeah.
So when you're pulling pipe, you have these like elevators going up and down.
Yeah.
And you have to like throw it in and lock it, and if it doesn't lock, it can go up partially in, and then if it drops, it's going to go through someone. Like
It's dangerous.
it's bad news. And it's, once I met some of the guys that worked on the rigs before, they're like, that's a job that most people have after a year of experience.
Come on.
It was like day 3. He's
Oh,
like,
boy.
get the fuck up there. I'm like, and then once you start learning more, but you see different rigs.
Yeah.
Usually what you'd have like a truck. I can't remember any of the terms, but
That's all good.
you'd have like a zip line with like a J hook kind of seat in case there was a blowout from the rig.
That would be your exit to get off it.
Right. Mine just dangled onto the floor of the rig.
Oh, boy.
So it was just like, it was a ragtag operation.
Holy.
But you don't know any different, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's
yeah,
kind of like,
fair.
it's kind of like the dad thing. Weird example, but if you ask someone that was born without an arm what it's like to not have an arm, they're like, I don't know the difference. So it was like, I didn't have anything to compare out there. So I was like, oh, this is how the rigs work.
Yeah.
But then when you're like, oh, this is like even sketchy for that, it was 2003.
Yeah.
So it was like, it was still kind of nuts.
And in a rig context, like it's a team dynamic, right? You have people that you're working with that are depending on you to do your job well, so they can do theirs, but also nobody gets hurt.
Yeah.
Was there shared knowledge and
No, man, it was just brutal.
Figure it out.
Yeah, the brake hand, the guy that was in control of the elevators going up and down.
Yeah.
I can't remember, Scott. He did not give a shit that I was brand new. He held that brake open as if I was like a seasoned vet.
Yes.
And it's like reps. Once you get good at it, you can kind of, you know how to position yourself up, because you're on like a small platform with areas where the pipe comes in and you're tethered off to the back in a proper harness, right?
Right.
Not covered in oil and frayed.
Sure.
And, like ours. So once you got comfortable, you could he would wide open and then slow it down enough to kind of, you would lift the elevator up depending on the size of the pipe, throw it in, and you could close it and lock it in one kind of like smooth action over time with reps.
Holy.
So I was like,
You're lucky, man.
He'd go up and I'd just be hanging off the edge, like hoping it was holding me, because like I've never done it before.
And hope is not a course of action, folks.
Right.
We want to have a plan.
Sometimes Jesus does need to take the wheel. And you're just like literally up there, and then he's screaming at you for not keeping up pace.
Man, this is a good life lesson. So folks out there, if you're 18, 19 years old and you're in a position, you have no reference point, you don't know what you don't know, ask questions. Ask questions. And if you're not getting those questions fulfilled, the person that you're probably working with probably doesn't deserve your time. And you are very valuable. Ask questions. Lesson number one for folks out there in the 18, 19-year-old wheelhouse that are just trying to figure shit out, man. We're all there. And then folks that are in a position to coach and mentor, man, for the love and honor, when life is on the line, safety is on the line, take the time, give some critical information to keep the production flowing safely. That's wild, man.
I'm sure it's different now.
It's got to be. Yeah,
it's got to be. Yeah. But there was I remember it was coming up wintertime, pretty cold out. You're out in like Alberta. Yeah. Like different kind of cold than East Coast.
Yeah.
And they'd be in the doghouse, like the tool shed.
Yeah.
They'd all be having their smoke break.
Sure.
Like the whole crew. But my uncle that was in the lead, I didn't smoke. So he'd be like, you don't get a break because you don't smoke. Logically, right? Makes sense.
Boy.
So what I would have to do is I'd be out with a 5-gallon bucket of diesel, scrubbing the like 48-inch like monkey wrenches. Yeah. Or like the snipe, or just all the tools, so that they didn't
maintaining
freeze.
them. Right.
Because it just gets so cold.
Holy.
So I'd be.
That's your break.
Yeah, my break was scrubbing the tools and diesel.
Wow. How about a cup of water? A cup of coffee.
Man, we'd
5-minute break.
We stayed in his trailer in a little town called Coronation in Alberta, and we'd fill up. The Gatorade kind of sports buckets. Yeah. We'd fill it up in this town at the time. And it would come out looking like brown, like gelatin.
But this was supposed to be drinking water?
Yeah. It was so, you'd fill it up in the bathtub and be like, just looking at it, you're like, I can't wait to not drink that.
No, boy.
Like, it is so gross, man.
Yeah.
Like, that was a foolish time.
So 18, how long did you do that for?
Honestly, I didn't do the rigs for too long, probably 8 months.
Okay.
And then I kind of had a little bit of a falling out with my uncle. So, but at that time we worked with a lot of different companies, a lot of different towns.
Right.
And a guy that used to work with us part-time, he also did pipelining. So he got me a job doing pipelining.
Okay.
So helping out welders. So basically, if you're in Alberta, you see those big buildings.
Yep.
They're reading the pressure and the oil, whatever, on everything. So you'd basically just be with a crew digging trenches with the backhoe, getting the pylon set up, getting the pipe kind of together so that the welders could come fix it up. You'd have like a sleeve over the one end, and then once the welder finished, you would kind of put it over with your torch and melt it over. So just kind of like helping out that way.
So, oh man, that's cool. So general pipe fitting type stuff, welding stuff. Good.
Man, I did that for a little while. Yeah. Then I went way up north, did some seismic.
Seismic, what's that?
Like, it's a good question. No, it's like the first step, I think, or was then of finding oil, like deposits in the ground.
Oh, so hunting for the next spot to drill.
Yeah. So you would take a bunch of like wire or not wire, anyway, equipment. Yeah. And you'd go and walk these lines, and you basically, they're like the little sensors, you push them into the ground, and then through some cleared path, like a big thumper, like a big rig that just hit the ground, would send, I guess, vibrations down, and these sensors would just spread. It's like LiDAR, like technology underground.
Cool.
So I think the geologists or whoever could find, okay, this is a good area for, and they present it to oil companies. So it was kind of cool to see
the other side of it. So you got to see the whole production. Really cool, man.
And then I was up in Fort Mac for a bit. Yeah. Working on like
at that time, was that the Wild West? Like I heard stories it was. And my old man worked out there. My dad was a welder.
It was nuts.
Yeah.
That's actually one of the reasons why working in Fort Mac was one of the reasons why I left the oil field. Yeah. Because you're just like, man, I don't want to. Yeah. It's like, I don't want to be away from my family all the time, so I'm going to go join JTF2. No, it wasn't that close together, but you saw like, it was crazy, like work life. These guys with these scars all over them from the slag falling on them, just being in these weird positions, breathing in all these crazy fumes.
Oh man, those guys, like, oh man.
But we got to work with a lot of the guys from the UK,
Oh,
which
yeah?
was sick because they got trained how to do it like while they're in high school.
Oh shit.
So from like 20 years old, they're like Red Seal,
Yeah.
like pipe fitters or welders.
Yeah.
So they come over and watching them,
Yeah.
it's like art.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's funny, man. Like my dad was a welder. He's an iron worker for 50 years, and
That's wild, man.
and everything you can imagine. He's done it all. Like to make anything that you can weld underwater, above heights, he's done it, which is kind of cool.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Do you think I absorbed any of those skills? No. Zero.
No, we
Zero.
were pretty dumb. So
Man, and like I kicked myself because I had the opportunity to learn that stuff. And I mean, don't get me wrong, he has shown me a little bit with stick welding, and I'm not very good at it. But here's the thing that I want to share with folks in that, and hats off to the blue collar hard workers out there, man, that do that type of work. But people that knew my dad well as a welder, for example, they raved about his ability to weld, and to me, I'm too young and immature to really appreciate what they're talking about.
Right.
And then it's years after that, you know, I've got a buddy of mine who's a mechanic, and he welds up steel for me. And we take it to the range, beat the shit out of it, and the steel very seldom fails.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, so like anything, there are tiers and levels to what people are capable of doing, right?
Oh man.
And I've heard people talk about my dad and talk about, he would say his welds. They would say his welds look like a stack of nickels.
No
like someone's
way.
like rolled a stack of nickels, and I was like, sure, I guess that's good, man. But anyway, my point to it being is, you know, you're talking about these guys from the UK that, you know, they're studying this stuff and they're doing it in school. So when they come to a place like Fort Mac, they're hitting the ground running, and they're crushing it, man.
They're
It's pretty
literally,
cool.
it's so impressive. You're right, man. Like seeing like, you'd watch some of them fill like these huge gaps that would take, like, you'd be like, this is going to be a mess. And it's just row after, and it's not just like mind off, you're just welding. It is like everything from like just how to get that kind of look of the nickels. It's just that perfect temperature, the perfect setup. Your hand is so steady. And it's just
pretty wild, man.
Yeah, they get like, I bet you they do get into like a meditative flow.
Oh, flow state? Oh,
like,
I bet
for
you.
sure.
For sure.
But it's funny to say like that you didn't absorb a lot, but when you look at your accomplishments and like what you focused on, it's like your dad showed you that when you do put a magnifying glass on something, you can become extraordinary. The reps, the rehearsals.
I agree. He showed me without words. He showed me that there is no substitution for hard work, and good things will happen.
And that's because really, if it's everything else, would be kind of just luck being there, and which is a part of it.
Yeah, I agree.
For sure.
I agree.
But it's if you just work really hard at anything, you're gonna get good at it.
I think so.
And I think that I heard like Joe Rogan talk about, I can't remember, he referenced some samurai or something, but it was like if you can get an expert at anything, you can be an expert kind of in anything. So it's like if you have the mindset to put all of your energy into learning about butterflies, that it's like, then you know you have the makeup to apply it to whatever.
I agree with that, man, for sure. And I tell you, when I left the military and thought about, you know, starting a business, I'm like, I don't know anything about running a business, but I also had that mindset built in that I would figure it out, and I will figure it out, and I'll make it work, you know. And it's just that mindset, man, has carried me a long way, and I know it will continue, and I feel very fortunate. A little bit of luck, for sure. Surround yourself with some good people, you know, some people that offer a helping hand, or a piece of quality advice every now and again. That helps, right? And that sometimes is luck oriented. But yeah.
And brutal honesty. Cause like I've had, obviously, you know, being like a professional, that anything that's worth like doing or putting effort into takes almost an obsessive amount of time, dedication, sacrifice. So whenever you're training to do workups for operating and it's all in, it has to be. But when you're not in that environment, you don't always have to have that approach.
Right.
So that's where it's like you kind of have to govern yourself.
It's a great way to put it.
For me
Yeah.
in my recovery right now,
Yeah.
I'll try to dabble in something like fossils, looking for fossils. And I'm literally obsessed to the point where I can't even focus on anything else. So it's like the job can't be a replacement for that obsessive focus because it's just, it's like you stop drinking and start doing drugs. It's like, well, I don't drink anymore. You've just replaced an addiction. So it seems like you though now, because when you do talk about it and you get that advice, you see it's like, oh, I have to kind of just relax. I need to take some me time.
Yes.
Like I don't need to sprint at everything.
That's right. Yeah.
But it's like you're hardwired to be like that.
Yeah.
So it's really difficult to step off that path.
It is, man, and it's interesting that you bring that, and we'll chat about it here in a little bit when we talk about your journey and recovery and where you're at right now.
Right.
Let's shift gears a little bit. So you leave, your experience in Alberta. At what point did you make the decision to join the military, and how did that unfold?
Man, so when I left Alberta, basically just fast forward a bit, I went back home to PEI. Went to UPEI,
you did?
The university.
What did you study?
Business and political science.
Good for you. Man.
So it was I wanted to do like an international business because I just like how the goings on and the dealings of that. But
like country to country,
just
import
all
export
that
type stuff.
And the political science kind of fell into that through an academic advisor.
Okay.
Because they're like, that's the policy and the relations through like political relationships is what drives like all of that. Kind of like, so
imagine people in relationships is what drives success.
Weird.
Imagine.
So I got back there and I was doing that, and about halfway through my like schooling, I was working at VAC as a like records management student.
Veterans Affairs?
Veterans Affairs.
Right on.
Yeah, they had this program that I got into.
Okay.
So I was there as a student, and one of the other students that was with me came up. He's like, "Did you hear they killed like Osama bin Laden?" And I was like, "No." And he sent me the link, and it was SEAL Team, or it was like Killed in Action.
Yeah.
And then it came out that it was SEAL Team 6.
Yeah, April 11th.
Right? And I was like, what's SEAL Team 6?
Yeah.
And I looked up like kind of what they did, what they were, and this. So fast, or rewind probably 12, 13 years before that, I was at this Jubilee Theater in Summerside, PEI, with some people from the church. And I think I was probably 15, maybe. I can't really remember. But I left because it was at the end, and they started doing like, God is a message for you. And it's like, this is going to turn like psychic kind of weirdo stuff. So I left with one of the guys just to go stand outside.
Yeah.
And then his brother came out a few minutes later. He's like, Chris, they wanted me to come get you. And I was like, ha ha. And he's like, no, I'm serious. I was like, shit. So I actually went back in front of this like audience.
Yeah. How many people roughly are?
Probably like, say like 100.
100 people?
100, 150.
So just so I can clarify, so this is about 2011, right after Osama?
No, this would be say like 15 years prior.
Oh, okay.
So whenever I saw that Osama bin Laden was like killed in action,
yes,
I had this like feeling.
Okay, I got you.
And the feeling is that's
okay. Yeah,
it's like you don't know my inside story already. This spark was something that happened
long time
back
ago.
at this like Jubilee Theater thing.
Okay.
So what happened was they basically were like, "Hey, young man, God has a message for you." And I was like, right on, cool. This is going to be weird. I'm going to get possessed.
Oh shit.
And they were basically, I can't obviously remember what they said,
the details
verbatim,
exactly,
but it's like, you've been through struggles in your life. It's like everyone has, so you don't get it. But then they started bringing up stuff like, you made a promise that like, you wouldn't be a certain way, blah, blah, blah. And it was just, I remember making a promise to my mom that, you know, just basically be like, try to be good.
Be a good human.
Right.
Good
And that's just because just seeing what she had to, some of the stuff she had to go through, and just, I didn't want her to have to worry about me.
You.
It's like,
that's honorable.
right. So, so when they said that, it kind of was like, okay, shit. That's kind of, okay, you got me kind of hooked.
Yeah.
And then the first part, they were like, if you stay in the path of God, you will have an army behind you to help many people, many families. So, but if I did it now, my house would get rolled over. And I was there with the Bible study minister, and he helped me interpret it a little.
Right.
And he was like, he was a doctor, Dr. Beck. He was a theologian or theologian, whatever.
Okay.
So he's basically just meant, he said that if you do this path now, you're not ready. So from like, say that point, I obviously lived a life of sin up until, well, I still do, I guess. But up until that like part of VAC.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really even think about it.
Sure.
For
Why
all
would
those
you?
years,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It was just like, this is whatever.
Yeah.
But as soon as I read like what SEAL Team 6 did, I was like in university doing the motions, but not feeling like I'm not in an office cubicle type of guy.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I've done manual labor my whole life.
Yeah.
This is just what seems right.
Right.
It's like, well, we're 25, we should be getting married. We should have kids by 27, 28. It's like it doesn't work that way.
No, it's not everyone's story.
No, right?
Yeah.
So but I had a real good feeling that I just wasn't doing what I was meant to do. And literally when that article came out, all of that snapped into me like, shit.
Wow.
That's that's my purpose.
Wow.
And I'm swearing, talking about Jesus, sorry. But like, I literally at that point applied. I went on Google and I went SEAL Team like 6 Canada.
Yeah.
And it came up
What's the equivalent?
JTF2.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is JTF2?
Yeah.
Because I didn't come from a military
Yeah.
family, nothing like that. So I applied right then. I
No
went to the
shit.
recruiting office in Charlottetown.
Yeah.
And I said,
That day.
it wasn't that day, no. I put my application
so
in and then had like an appointment to go downtown.
Okay, so that started that day though.
It was right there. It was like,
Wow.
that's it.
Okay.
That's it. Because
That something went through you and lit a fire, and
it was
you're
fun. I'm like,
wow.
and
Cool.
I've quit, failed, so much stuff I've done in life up until that point. But this feeling was so overwhelming.
Right.
That it's like, this is crazy. This is
Yeah.
a purpose.
Yeah.
So I was just waiting to go in to get my interview and sign the paperwork, do the testing. And when I went to talk to the guy, he was like, so put your top 3 choices. I was like, what's the hardest thing you can do? And he's like, infantry, combat engineering. I was like, because I want to go to JTF2. And he obviously laughed.
He did?
It's like everyone, it's like, I want to go to special forces,
Yeah.
be a fighter pilot
Yeah.
and or a sniper.
Yeah.
It's like, hey man, realistically, you're going to be sweeping a bay for a while.
This is the
But it was
Okay.
just manage your expectations, especially coming from a small island where it's like,
Yeah, but man,
on, man.
I just want to pause there just for a second because there's a message here.
Yeah.
People that are in the recruiting position, your job is so vital.
It's crazy
So
important,
vital.
man.
Like you need to take that job so seriously.
Oh, yeah.
The things that you say and what you portray to an 18, 19, 20, 25-year-old individual can make the difference in the trajectory of their life.
Yeah.
And when we think of the Canadian Armed Forces, it's national defense, something to be very proud of. So if somebody comes in with the notion to give their service to the nation,
Yeah.
as a recruiter, you better ask quality questions.
Yeah,
and you
man.
better guide that person with clear direction and know your shit.
Yeah, man.
And if you don't know something, you find out. Like, listen, sir, ma'am, I will get back to you, but I don't know.
Yeah.
That job is critical.
No.
For folks that get put into these recruiting positions as dumping grounds because
I know, man.
you know, they're fat, lazy, whatever. The wrong people are in those positions, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, we need to clean that up. If we're serious about the national defense status that we have right now,
Yeah.
part of the problem is the recruiting.
100%.
All right. Randy rant. I'll put that on pause.
Now I'm going to rant. Okay, what did you just say? No, I agree totally, man. It is a wild spot. It's kind of like the school.
Yeah.
Like CF, LRS or whatever. It's like, you should, that shouldn't be a punishment position.
No.
That should be a,
Take that with
we're
pride,
sending
man.
some
Yes.
people with pride that is like, wants to, teachers,
Yes.
for example, you have in the same spectrum,
Yes.
teachers that want to shape the minds of the next generation, and then teachers that want summers off.
Yes.
Unfortunately, they fall under the same
Yeah,
like
the umbrella, yeah.
umbrella. So it's But if you're gonna do it, especially in recruiting, man, you gotta, because what he could have said was, okay, first of all, you don't need to do the hardest thing to get there. What you need to do is like make sure you're cognitively like
You're sharp.
you're cognitively smart. It's like that you're, a problem solver. What's your life experience?
Right.
Because like in my experience, guys I've known, like they don't take younger guys or whatever. Or hey, you're an older gentleman. Maybe you would like to take a specialist course, because if you do get hurt or like for your military pension, say it is more and it's more specialized, there's more transferable skills to civilian life, whatever, not just I have to get 3 people in infantry today.
That's right.
Or whatever. But anyways.
Yeah. So you go through the pipeline. Now you're on your way. You're on your way. So what?
Kind of. So I did all the like testing and then I did the hearing, but I failed it. And at that time, before I put in my application, I was kind of at a little bit of a crisis, being like, what am I going to do? Like, I'm not, so I talked to my family doctor, which knew me like for a long, long time.
Yes.
And I just was like, man, like, I just don't feel right. Like, I don't really have a direction. And he's like, man, just try some of these. It was kind of like a depression pill. I don't even know what it was called, but he's like, basically described, he's like, just, you got to reset your nervous system. You're in school, a lot of things are happening, just relax. So when I did my application, I was honest. I was like, I was on this pill for 3 months. But then on top of that, I failed my hearing because the machine malfunctioned. I didn't know this at the time.
Right.
But when my application went in, I didn't meet the like universality of service or the criteria.
Right.
So I actually got denied, which was a silver lining, because then if I would have got approved, I would have bailed on school, quit another thing, and then had at that time say like 30 grand, 25 grand in debt for nothing.
Yes.
So by the time I had to get my family doctor to write up like he's never been diagnosed with this,
Right.
then a new hearing screening, and it was all through Christmases and like just along like road, I actually was able to finish my school.
Okay.
So then it was like 6 months after I graduated. That's when I think I got, it was like 2014 when they're like, you're going off to basic.
Oh man.
So I was like, so it was kind of
blessing in blessing in disguise.
So that was like kind of my transition into the military.
Right.
Which was so confusing for everyone back home.
Yeah.
Cause I am a pretty big softie.
Yeah.
Like I've never been this like outwardly violent guy. Like I'm not some hard charging whatever.
Yeah.
But so whenever I say to everyone like, I'm joining the military, for one was weird. And then with the intent of where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
And I also had a contract with VAC as a junior project officer.
Right.
Outside of university.
Right.
So which is back home is like winning the lottery. You're going to leave a federal government job to go into the military.
Yeah.
Like what? This is backwards.
Which is, man, this is another good message for listeners and viewers, especially the Canadians, man. Like people that think that they get a federal position, that they've made it. They've made it. Oh, I've made it. I'll never get fired. I'm working towards my pension.
Yeah.
Like you're not living, man. You're existing.
That's it.
Why? Why? Like, do what makes your heart happy. You mean to tell me whatever you're doing in the federal government, you clock in, at one time, you go into your cubicle, you push the keyboard around, you blow off some dust, you do fuck all, you leave, and you're happy with that? Like, you're proud of what you're doing? That's bullshit, man. No. Want more for yourself. Level up. Whatever it is that makes you happy, do it. Is there going to be risk along the way? Of course there is. Is it always going to work out? No, it's not. But folks that think they land a federal government job and they've made it, like, give your head a shake, man. There's so many things that you can do. Inspire yourself to want to do more. That would be my message today. Man, I'm fucking Randy Rant today. I gotta settle down here.
But it's true, man, because especially with the public service side of the federal government.
Yeah.
Like we're dealing with, say, VAC.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you're a public servant.
Yes.
It's the same thing with the teachers.
Yeah.
You should be there to like help as much, know all the programs. Not like you have to know a guy that went through the process that told you about this program that you have to ask about. It's like, put some pride into it and know it.
So, Chris, did you feel like you had some pressure from your friends and family? Were like, man, don't do it. Don't join the military. You got this golden nugget. Just sit on it. Yeah.
Oh, like everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone.
And were you open and sharing with people like, man, no, there's something inside me that tells me, I need to do this. I have to do this. How did you kind of navigate those waters?
I just showed it.
Yeah.
I would get up early, go for runs. I would do push-ups, sit-ups during commercial breaks. I would change my like diet. I'd fill up as much weight as I could in my backpack, kit bag, and go for like walks and jogs. Do hill sprints between telephone poles, jump in the ocean, go for swims. Like I was just like, you could see it. And then
all in.
That's one of those things where you're like, I don't need to, I'm not going to show you, I'm not going to tell you guys because I can't convince you.
Right.
It's just kind of like you're undeniably in that pursuit.
Right.
So because again, it was just that feeling was just like, not that I didn't value their input.
No, of course.
But it's just
people you care about.
Such a strong feeling to go that route. Mm-hmm. So it's like, no, this is the right thing to do. So
So you get everything squared away. You're off to basic training now. So you're in Saint Jean for
turned 30 in basic.
You turned 30.
Yeah. I was like sitting in my barracks or whatever, and I'm just like, I'm next to like an 18-year-old kid, like a 19-year-old kid, and they're just like stuff they're talking about. I'm just like,
now connecting.
Man, this is
what am I doing?
And then I thought like everyone's gonna be like an American military. Everyone's gonna be like it's like no, like I didn't realize you just get all the mix, like the Air Force, the Navy, and land like on
all
that. So I was just like, so I was just like immediately the old man.
Yeah.
Like everyone was like, I'm like 12 years older. They'd be like, private recruit, so-and-so bloggins. It's like, what was your first job? It's like, this is my first job, Sergeant. And they're like, what are you, private recruit Matheson? I'm like, man, I worked on the farm. Like, I've worked in like surf shops, snowboard shops, like
done a lot.
Farming, welding, like, so they're just, and I'm like older than most of them there. So it was a weird dynamic. But what felt really like cool about it, honestly, was that whenever I did my intake, I was on, like, I did all the drugs in Fort Mac. Like I was just when I did all like my intake, I was super honest. I just said, I'm like, if they're going to take me, it's going to be based on like fully me, like fully who I am. I'm not going to try to lie about any of this shit. So when I got into basic, and I'm just like, I'm just being me. I'm not trying to be this guy that people are looking up to or anything like that. And you found success. So it was kind of giving me confidence that I can be still truly me based on this purpose. And it's working. So it's like there's something to this. So it was really
that's it, man. Be authentic,
cool
be yourself, man. That's amazing. It's awesome. That's it's inspirational. The basic training course at that time, was it 8 weeks or 10 weeks or 12 weeks? Do you remember how long?
I think it was like the 12
weeks. 12 weeks.
Yeah, which was fun in the sense our staff was like really good. Like we had a couple of like we had a PPCLI like sniper with a couple of tours in Afghanistan.
Right on.
Our warrant was a RCR, like multiple combat. We had a combat medic. She was unreal.
Cool.
We had like just a really good stuff.
Mix.
So like they taught you a lot of stuff, and it was a good good foundation for then like SQ.
Yeah.
For me anyway, because I was really trying to soak it all in.
Yeah.
Like really learning like navigation.
Yeah.
Like how do you do charting and mapping? Like how do you, like what are the drills in this gun? Like what is the, like not drill like walking? Like,
I know what you mean.
Because that's I couldn't.
You wanted to know all the details because of your vision of where you wanted to go. Anything that you were pretty confident this is going to help you with where you want to go. You were trying to absorb as much of that as you could.
Everything I could,
That's
man.
cool.
And I just, because I was just thinking, because why I asked that, like, what's the hardest, was just because in my dumb ass brain, like, you can't get there without doing, it's like, if I can't do a hard course on the regular side, there's no way I can do that.
That's fair, man. Yeah.
And is it true? No. Does it help? For sure.
I think it does. But also too, your background, you came to the table with a little bit more life experience than some others in comparison. So, somebody that's relatively new, 19, mom and dad were still washing their underwear last week, and now they're a soldier today.
Yeah.
They need to go through some crucibles. They don't necessarily have any hardships that they've gone through as a reference point yet. Right?
Yeah.
So the military optimally put them through those courses and those crucibles so they have a reference. Otherwise, how the heck will we expect someone to toughen up if they've never been the opportunity to actually get tough? Right?
You cannot.
Yeah. Your situation is a little bit different. You're 30 years old. You've already gone through a fair bit of shit.
Yeah, fair.
So it's a little bit different, I think, case by case when we're trying to, teach and transfer knowledge. We need to find out who we're dealing with, right? Yeah. Like the way I would speak to you as an instructor would probably be a little bit different than the way I speak to, Susie, 18 years old, that wants to be a clerk,
100%.
Right? So,
and that was the staff did take, a couple of the guys took me aside a couple times just to be kind of like that, like not to put extra pressure on, but like, hey man, like some of these kids like really look up to just you, because you're on it with them and you're PTing alongside with them and like more, or like you're showing instead of like saying, hey, I'm the leader guy. It's not like I was the leader, I think, but it's just you're just doing it by like make sure that action. You keep them not in line, but on the side of that mentality, like that mindset.
Good for you,
what the
man.
goal is. So it was a cool experience.
And then from there, so your trade was combat engineer. So you graduate basic training, then you do, at that time they had SQ, right? Soldier's qualification. So that's where you're learning all about, well, you tell us, what do you learn? Guns, you learn?
Yeah, guns, like just
platoon support weapons.
Yeah, you're in like the heavy weapons, you're digging trenches, you're dealing with stand twos and like flares going off.
Yep.
Which it was good training, but it's like, it's not, you're not doing it to like get the guys and girls to like absorb it.
Right. Exposure.
Yeah.
It's more of an exposure.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. We had ours all run by the reservists in Gagetown, which was fine.
Yeah.
But it was still, when you hear some of the guys when they did it out west, like in Wainwright or something, it seemed more like a proper soldier qualification.
Right.
Like doing like section attacks, doing like team, like just doing like
one-on-one.
Yeah, just like all those different types of stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, ours was, it was fun, but it was at that point, I was just not annoyed, but I'm like, man, it sucks that I have to do this.
Yeah, because you just want to get this going. It's
I can
respect that.
I have so much time, but I still wanted to absorb it all and do it like well. Yeah. So that was.
Yeah, I could see that. Definitely be days where like, man, I know I have to do this. However, man, I'm not getting any younger here.
No, and that was the thing. I'm like being around these like kids and like sleeping in these like tents where you're on a hill, it's raining, you're like packing it with mud and dirt and stuff, you don't get wet, and you're just, someone in the platoon forgets that they have a peanut butter sandwich out, and like we actually had a bear come in and ransack like our little area. So it's just like these are stupid problems. I didn't like this. But it was all, then I went right to basically combat engineering, the DP1.
Very cool.
I think I was fully qualified. It was just over a year in all three. So I was really lucky.
Okay.
Some of the guys, it takes a long time, a PAP platoon or whatever.
Yep.
But everything just landed pretty good for me.
And then your first posting with the engineers was where?
For SR, in Gagetown.
So you're in Gagetown.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And then, you know, you get into now you're an engineer, you're learning different skills, you know, you're working with a different group of people. How long did that journey take on before you because there's a certain amount of time, right?
Yeah, I think it was like just under like 2 years maybe. But I showed up on crutches. So I was
what happened?
On course, I fractured my femoral head. So like up in my femur, it fractured. So like
close to the hip joint?
Yeah, like up inside.
Oh boy.
So it was basically, I think it happened in week 3 or 4 of my DP1.
Okay.
And I thought we were playing handball and I got smoked by a few guys and I thought it was a muscle like tear.
Yeah.
And man, the pain was pretty
Severe.
up there.
Yeah.
So I kind of hobbled off the field, and then that night I was trying to roll it out, and it was just making me so sick. And I was on the second bunk, couldn't get up, so I just slept on the floor, which was fine because we were still under like inspection for like 8 weeks.
So your bunk is tight.
Yeah.
You're not messing it up. You're
I'm messing my bed up.
Your corners are iron and just leaving it.
It's like you have 30 centimeters, you're folded, you're like, I'm not messing this.
No, sleep on the floor.
Yeah, I'm way more comfortable on the floor.
Sure.
But I couldn't get up anyway, so it was kind of, but I would literally like cry.
Oh boy.
In pain every night because it hurt so much. We'd be standing doing like explosives, lessons, and it would feel like, you know, you pull your finger out of its socket. It'd feel like my leg was gonna come out.
Yeah.
And it took a master corporal came down to help out on the course, maybe week 6 or something like that. And we were doing lunges in the gym in Forest, and I kept falling over because I just couldn't. My leg, it was just.
My leg wasn't functioning.
Yeah, and I just trying to be like, I can't redo this. I have to just get through this. So he was like, you need to go to the
MIR or whatever.
The MER, MER, whatever.
Medical inspection room.
Yeah,
MIR.
Yeah. So it was, I was like, do I have to? He's like, yes. Because if, you know, whatever. So I went down, they x-rayed it. Like, something's fucked up. They sent me to Moncton to get an MRI with that, like, fluid injection.
Yeah.
And then it went to the fracture specialist in Fredericton. And he's like, man, you have like a, can't remember how many mils, 7 or 8, like whatever fracture up in your femoral head, and we can't go up and put a cap on it because it could collapse your hip, and then you'd need a new hip. And I'm like, shit, like I'm just about like I'm so close. This is, and to go back to a biblical term, like I read Job before. I don't know if you like know much about Job, but his story is basically just overcoming this insurmountable amount of hardships. Basically, like the devil went to God, he's like, and I quote, I'm gonna fuck with Job. And God was like, try it, buds. Yeah. And then the devil, he just went through a lot. So in my mind, this is my Job moment. This is just some shit. This is the devil trying to take me off the path that God has for me. Because this is the army, the people behind me. This is my purpose. So I was pretty dedicated no matter what it was.
Yeah.
Anyways, she was my girlfriend at the time, my now wife, Vicky. He's like, yeah, if this snaps, this is going to most likely sever your
artery.
Femoral artery.
Oh boy.
Which is obviously pretty quick death.
Yeah.
An honorable quick death.
Yeah.
So it was like a pretty obvious, like you're off course.
Yeah.
Like you can't be doing fucking combat engineer DP1 with this. And I was like, man, we had I think a couple weeks left. And I was just like, a second opinion. Because the sergeant was like, we can't, what are we supposed to do here?
Yeah.
Like you're off.
Yeah.
And I was like, second opinion again. And they're like, well played. So by the time I got everything sorted out, like I actually graduated. So I graduated course.
Yeah.
But then because of the injury being obvious, they put me on crutches.
Oh, okay.
So when I landed in Fort Sarah to like check in, I was on crutches.
Wow.
So you show up to a regiment on crutches.
Not a good start.
Not a good start. So I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
But
they didn't know your story though.
Thankfully, some of the boys that were on my DP1 came with me.
Yeah.
And immediately I had like credibility.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's not like your ankle was twisted.
Sore, yeah.
It's like, this guy's like, finished that. And it's funny because most people are like, man, that's tough as fuck.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, I'm just really dumb. Really dumb and really stubborn.
Well, maybe a little column from A, a little column from B, maybe a little. I don't know, man.
So it was a tough kind of go at first because I think I was on crutches there for 8, 9 months.
Did you end up getting a surgery, or how did they fix it?
No, every 3 months I'd go to Moncton and they would do the injection to make sure it was healing.
Oh, that's
so
it
it was
check it up. And it was healing.
Got to a point where they're like,
holy shit, man.
You're
And how does it feel today? Any issues? It still bothers you? Yeah.
Yeah, when I was doing my run for even selection,
Yeah.
once I got approved off and I was running, the PSB staff was like, "What's going on with your hips?" And I was like, "I have hips. Like, what are you talking about?" And he's like, "When you were running," he was like, "Something's off." I was like, "Yeah, this one, I like a fracture." He's like, "Yeah, like that's
It's noticeable.
And then and then after got into the troop, some of the guys were like, "Man, when you were in stress position, you know, like up against the wall, like, you looked so uncomfortable."
Yeah.
Because when they read in like their file, it's like they saw that injury.
Yes.
And they knew about it.
Yeah.
So it was just like, yeah. So it did bother me, but at the same time, maybe another lesson is that stuff doesn't matter.
Good for you, man. That's mental fortitude, man. That's physical and intestinal fortitude, man. Good for you. That's no joke.
But that, like what you said earlier, is like, that doesn't come from anything except something that you're passionate about.
Of course.
Or you believe in.
That's right. You wanted it so bad,
that nothing mattered. And it was,
Yeah.
You need that. And that's where you got to explore those. Just if it's healthy and it makes you happy, like, you should explore that. Like,
yeah, good for you, man. I know, working multiple selections at the unit as part of the instructor college, right? You see, guys want it and they struggle and they'll persevere and they'll push through, and you get a chance to talk to them afterwards, and it's really cool to hear people's stories. And then you see guys that are performing really, really well, and then they just pull themselves off, and it's tough to understand. And everyone's story is a little bit different, and the way I kind of looked at it is when somebody pulled themselves off, and they pulled their penny off and they're out. Talk to them like a human being, right? At the end of the day, I'm curious, man. Like, what were you thinking?
That was I was staff a couple of times doing like that switch where you go from like
instructor
BS
to human.
Hey man, like thanks a lot for showing up, and like you see it in them being like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, what, you were just sharking me.
Yeah.
And now you're like thanking me for being here.
Yeah.
It's like, but yeah, that was weird to see those, because when I showed up and I'm looking at some of these guys that are on my selection, like, it's like Brock Lesnar and Bane have a baby and then turn them into like, and I'm just sitting there like, kind of like dad bod, like, fuck. And then you're on like, and you're passing them and you're like, oh, like, this is like, maybe they're used to accomplishing everything they've ever done.
Of course they are.
And they're like, once you're like, hey, you're holding the whole team back.
Yeah.
It's like crippling to some of these people.
Guys,
where for me, I'm like, I'd go up to the boys, like, if we get beasted, it's on me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know how to make it up.
Yeah.
I will. Like, it's like, I felt that a lot. Where you saw those like top performers and by the way, when you said pulling themselves off twice, the little kid in me was like, he like, you're saying that they're pulling themselves off, and I'm just picturing them jacking off, and you're like talking about beanies. I'm like, I'm such an immature like adult. Like,
no, I'm not talking about anybody jerking anybody off here.
Hey, number 7's pulling himself off again. He really likes to stand. But yeah, no, that was
let's back up a little bit, Chris. So you get your hip kind of squared away, but it's not really. No. You start prepping for selection. So now you do the required amount of time with the engineers.
Yeah.
You submit your notice of intention to try out. And did you apply for assaulter selection? Or did you apply for coxswain selection?
The coxswain selection.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had another guy at the regiment. I don't know if he's out or not, but he's Sergeant Bertrand, and he's my best buddy there. He was just an animal. Had a tour or two in Afghanistan, like back in the
Yep.
rough days.
Yep.
So his mentality to do like the physical training with circuits and just the running was where I didn't have. I never knew how to like work out because
Right.
of just manual labor.
Yep.
But where my strong suit was in the swimming side of like in the water, being comfortable in water.
Yep.
So we kind of married up our training together and we just hit the road running. And because he knew someone that was a coxswain, and I think he was, because like we both like love the water aspect of it. And at that time, especially, there was really no information about it out
Right.
there. On the website, it says like Maritime Counter Terrorism.
Yeah.
Like
pretty
just
vague.
different, like MSO. Like it doesn't. You're like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
So truthfully, I was like, oh, this is the kind of like DevGru
Yeah.
water side, and then CAG would be like the assaulter land side.
Right.
Or like an SAS, SBS type.
That's what you were thinking.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah. And which makes sense. Without the information,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So, and I'm like, what the fuck is a coxswain? Like, which actually I think they have to probably change now, but when I was there, like they legally were like being told that they had to change it.
Why?
Because that's a position, an actual position in the Navy.
Yeah.
So our TDO is like, you have to be called like Maritime Special Operator.
Okay.
And it's like, that's just a mouthful of foolishness kind of thing.
Yeah, it sure is.
It's
yeah.
like, but yeah, anyways, that
Yeah.
doesn't really matter.
But these are the things that get hung up at those high levels
Yeah,
when
like,
there's no war to fight.
there's-
or when you're not involved with fighting a war.
Yeah.
They've got so much time rather than allocating it to train and fund and equip. So it's like, wait a minute, there's a title here. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a fucking piece of pipe in somebody's spokeshave. Man, like,
And it's not even an official title. Like it's the
Yeah.
RSM of a ship.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, that's not, your rank isn't coxswain.
and why that's even a topic of fucking interest. Like, there's more important things. Anyway,
No,
I
there's
digress.
not. Name one. I couldn't. But yeah,
So okay, so there's not a lot of information, but enough that enticed you, and this is where you
Yeah.
want to go. So you submit.
well, it made sense. I already like, because I'll forget for sure, but because growing up on Central North Shore, my best buddy Jamie and I, we'd always, anytime, especially in the fall, when there'd be heavy waves, we'd be down there like frolicking in them. Like people would be watching us in the fall being like, what is, like I've been down at the beach where the lifeguards have asked me to
get out of the water.
to get out of their protected zone. Cause like, we're not going in. And it's like, you coward. But like literally, and you go like outside their boundary because you're like, the waves are
Right,
so
gnarly.
awesome. Like I'm
Yeah.
going in there. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So like whenever
And folks for that are maybe not be aware, like this is the North Atlantic. This water is frigid. Like,
Yeah,
you're
it's
not.
not-
Yeah, you're not jumping in for a leisurely swim.
like end of the summer, the highest temperature, like it'd be like 18 degrees.
yeah.
It's like you can't just jump in. You have to kind of,
Oh yeah.
and you're underwater just like vibrating. And then you just get numb and you're fine.
Yeah. So this is what you're doing, you and your buddies, to prep yourself, which is awesome.
No,
I love it.
This was just growing up for fun.
Oh, just for fun.
This had nothing
man.
to do. Yeah, sorry, I'm a
Amazing.
basket case. But when I did apply also for the like water side of the unit, I truly felt that if you're gonna go to a place like there,
Yes.
it shouldn't just, it can't just be something that you want to do. It has to be a part of you, like kind of naturally. And for me, it's like the water made the most sense. I'm like, this is the side of the house. Because I knew there was going to be a lot of guns, a lot of shooting involved, what I assumed. But I didn't have this like obsession like how some people do with kit and like desert, like working in that environment. Like I like just the idea of working on ships, being at night, just going and doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it felt more like a genuine part of my personality, right? Because if
Yeah.
you do something that hard, it can't be just like
Yeah,
something,
you
like,
got to be all in, man.
all
And we're going to talk about the MSO stuff because I'm a bit biased, but that was my passion for many, many years.
yeah.
And,
You're one of the few.
and not a lot of people know that about me, but when I started at the unit as an assaulter, I was in 2 Squadron. That's where I started my journey. And I was only there for about a year, did a full IR cycle, and then it came up. You know, we remember having one of these Sergeant Major hours, and there's a dive course that's running. We're looking for people that are interested. And I didn't know anything about anything. And so I was asking a lot of questions. You know, I was kind of...
Oh, because this would be like back in the...
Yeah, this would have been 2004, 2005.
Yeah.
And I remember Albo and some of the more senior guys, I'm like, hey, dive course. And they tell me a little bit about it. And like, got all the older dogs, man. Like, older dogs, more seasoned dudes are like, nah, fuck that. They're like, fucking anything to do with the water. You know, you wear all this kit and equipment. It's so fucking uncomfortable. It's dangerous. It's fucked up. And in the end, you know, which is all accurate, but I think some of the reason that guys were kind of talking us out of it is like such a small % chance of us actually doing that for real. Yeah. That it was one of those things where, yes, you need to do it because I have a mandate to do it, and we need to be able to answer to the government. So you need to you need to be able to do it and do it well. Yeah. But I think partially some of the guys are thinking, man, the fucking chances of something like this happening in Canadian soil or elsewhere, pretty small.
Which is valid, pretty valid.
It is valid, but let's look at, you know, what's happening right now. You know, you think about what's going on in Indonesia and the Pacific region, you know, the Strait of Hormuz, like that, when something kicks off there, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, it's like 90% of the international shipping movement happens through that.
91%.
Is it? Okay.
No.
Okay. I knew it's pretty high.
No, yeah, it's crazy.
But my point is, when something like that kick off, it's going to have a maritime special operations nexus. It's going to. So if we're not preparing for it, we are sitting on our hands.
Big time.
Right?
And you can't, it's just like one of the soft truth, like you can't mass produce in the time of like meter. It has to be already established.
Yeah.
You need, because that's the thing is like most people think tier 1 units especially, it's just all violence.
Yeah.
It's like there's violence for sure, but mostly it's just rehearsals, preparations, it's going over the tiny details. Like it's just like the op is the exam.
Yes.
And the prep is kind of the rehearsals are the studying.
Yeah.
And that's way more than the actual violence. So it's like,
and I think at the foundational level, the violence has already been it's been identified. That's why they're selected. They know they have the violence. They know they have the perseverance. They know they have the strength. They've got all of that. Now let's fine tune all the little details. You know?
That's one thing I do love so much. I wish we could talk about the intricacies of selections, because like when you see them ran, it's so perfect, it's so organized, there's never a down moment where it's like, what do we do now? Everything is for a reason. It's crazy. And then when you do the job, you're like, oh, that's why I was doing those stupid caving ladder things, trying to solve problems or whatever it is. Like you're just like, it's very applicable. Yeah. It's not just, can you not quit? Yes. And I remember, I don't know if it was the selection warrant or officer, but it was something like they're not looking for survivors, they're looking for thrivers. Yeah, performers. Something like that. And I wrote, that was the first thing I wrote down, is like, thrive, don't survive. Yes. And like, you can't just meet the standard. That's not the standard. It's true, man. When people approach selection, whether it's Coxswain, Assaulter, C-Source, CGI, wherever they want to go, there's an element that the selections are built for what they're looking for. Right? They're looking for, each unit and subunit is looking for something very specific. That's right. And when you get selected for that thing, be proud of it, because not everybody has that thing that they're looking for. No, you know? Exactly. Yeah. It's really interesting for sure. It's like, it's like everyone's like, they're going to talk about. It's like, but we can't talk about it. So anyway, just go do it. Just go do it. I would say, the things that we can talk about it is, prepare yourself for the hardest thing you're probably ever going to imagine. Prepare yourself for the most emotional roller coaster, physical exhausting, mentally challenging process that you'll ever go through. And to your point, you nailed it earlier, you have to want it. You have to want it so bad, because on day 3 or day 4, when the suck really starts to go to level 10, you will find ways to pull yourself out of the situation, right? If your mindset is not so convicted, you will find a way. You'll find a way to quit. You will find a way to quit. Yeah. And you see, it's crazy when you see it. Yeah. Even the first couple minutes when you're just, it's like, how did you go through all of the process to get here and you're gone before, say, 9 a.m. coffee, or like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, 9 a.m. hot lunch. It was so crazy to me to, like, you put in so much effort just to, like, how could you couldn't have not put in effort to get here.
We could talk about that for hours for sure. I think there's a lot to be said about what goes on between the ears. And, you know, some people have probably heard me say this. I'd say it's 50% physical and it's 50% mental. And I still believe that to the core of my being, because if you're not physically prepared, you know, the body has, the battle chassis has to be rugged. Right. It has to be ready, right? But, you know, the CPU, the central power unit, is what's going to drive the chassis, right? So you got to have both.
You really do, man.
For your selection, talk about what you can, what you're able to, and what you're comfortable with. So how many days was your selection at that time?
Is it 5 days? Yeah.
And you show up, you're physically ready to go. How was the body feeling physically going into it? Like, the hips still not quite 100%.
Yeah, I was kind of like, I think I was about 8 months into recovery whenever selection came up. I can't remember exactly the time frame, but I definitely wasn't probably as physically ready as I could have been, just because I was so immobile. Like, just to get back to running was so, and I'm not, if you can tell, not a natural build for a runner. I'm like more of a human rucksack type of guy. But I was just I just shut my brain off and just go.
Good.
And I just, it wasn't up to snuff, but I knew that, well, my wife, she was like, basically, there's no way that they're gonna put you through anything that worse than what you've been through in, say, life. So that kind of confidence was,
it's a good woman.
It was huge.
Yeah, a good woman to have that support. That's important too, man. You got to have that home support. Well, you know, if there's confliction in the household, and, you know, somebody wants to do selection, but their significant other isn't in support, that will come out in selection. That will be highlighted, unfortunately.
It's brutal, man.
Guys will pull themselves and say, "Oh, my wife doesn't support it." It's like, listen, man, you got to have that conversation with your missus prior to.
Yeah.
You got to have her support, because if you don't, on day 3 or day 4, it'll come to the surface.
And then if you do get through it, do get picked up, do finish course, and then you're on like a rotation, you're gone constantly.
Yeah.
If you're always getting, say, calls from home, or there's always issues, you see it.
Yes.
You're like, you can't be 99% here.
Yeah.
You have to be. So I was so lucky, and still am, because anytime I never got this is bullshit. Yeah. You're gone so much. Like, when are you going to be home more? Because it's like, she really knew that it was
good, man. Yeah, it's good
my thing. So if you don't have that, it's
tough.
It's tough.
It's gonna be a lot harder for sure. Not impossible, but definitely a lot harder.
Yeah, it's a lot of extra stuff. Yeah, the bandwidth is being used on things that, like, aren't the main effort.
Yeah.
And you can't get there.
Half.
Like, you kind of
one foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah.
It's like trying to take a shower, but 1 foot's outside the shower. It's like, you're half clean.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
But no, it was cool though, man. I remember you get in, you get kind of your big bag full of all your MCT bullshit.
Yeah.
And then you're just, you know, selection starts. Yeah. And you're just like, what the fuck am I getting myself into?
Just a whirlwind.
Yeah. And then you see people quitting again, like right away, and you're just like, shit.
Yeah.
Like, but then we kind of got into the rhythm, and you're like, what do you think's going to happen today, boys? It's like, I'll probably was kind of like our stuff. And we just, like, water obviously was a big thing with ours.
Big
different
thing,
water
sure.
phobias, different.
Yeah.
Like, we'd go down, we'd take actually the big boats out.
Yeah.
You'd get handed different pieces of information. You'd need to kind of dead reckon.
Yes.
Kind of know how to hold like a bearing.
Yes.
Which is with speed. And it's not just, can you, say, drive a boat? It's you're taking in a lot of information and not feeling overwhelmed to the point you can't explain it.
Yeah.
Because I just think you're doing, say you're driver, navigator, or the Red Star leading something. You have in your left comms, like the inner boat comms, right comms, say all the other boat comms.
Yep.
Then in your inner ear, you have like 0, and then the other ear is like that
Command net, team net.
So then
There's a lot going on.
And there's like you have all this shit, and you're filtering it all out while you're still performing at the highest level
and making split-second
right?
decisions.
And none of it feels like pressure because you've done so many rehearsals, you've done so much stuff. So it's like,
what's the hardest thing looking back at your career? You know, how many years you did it. What did you say is the most challenging thing for a coxswain, a boat driver? The most challenging thing of all things to consider. I know this is a tough question because there's so many skills that you guys need to be good at. Like
tying a bowline. That's number 1. A reef knot. Number 2.
I don't know. You don't have to tie knots. Just put them in coils really nicely. That's it, right?
I think it's called like cheesel or cheesing. It's some Navy stuff, man. I don't know. These Navy guys.
We love them. We love them. We want to see more of them. But like, you know, ship at anchor, you know, ship alongside, ship underway.
Man.
Like
underway's the most dangerous, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's the easiest.
Oh?
Yeah. Because like, think of like riding a bike.
Yeah.
When you have like momentum, it's easier to stay balanced. But whereas you're, say, at anchor.
Yeah.
And not alongside. You're at anchor out.
Middle of nowhere, yeah.
You're getting all the wave movements, the currents, everything. So you're getting blown by the wind.
Yeah.
So like if it's a silent with the magnets or whatever,
Yes.
you have to, there's a lot of manipulation going on that's fine tuning.
Right.
Whereas when you're underway, you can kind of just like match the speed, get the feeling, get the timing, get everything set up.
Oh, yeah.
But the hardest part would, man, afterwards you realize it's on the body for sure. It's a lot of
for you guys.
bone
Oh my
pounding.
goodness. Oh my goodness, man. We're gonna talk about that too because it's your bodies get the shit kicked out of them.
Yeah, but I think it's the hardest part is probably to make sure that you have someone, say if you're driving, that you're, say, focused at pitch black on a tiny weld.
Yes.
Because you know that's your hook point spot.
Right.
So that the ladder's straight and the boys are getting up safe.
Right.
And that your ass end is inside.
So for folks, and man, your description is bang on. So for folks that don't quite understand, picture a massive vessel that we are going to do an opposed boarding. So we've got professionals that are going to hook a line, a caving ladder, and we're going to climb. Why this is in motion. And the boat drivers that have the package. The ship is in this direction, moving in this direction, dealing with the waves, dealing with the weather, dealing with all of these other external factors. And then they find a spot on the ship to focus on. And as they're feathering the throttle, their focal point doesn't deviate from that point because they know they've got the sweet spot. So the guys in the back can do what they need to do to get out. Man, like, that's
kind of like that flow state. You get in, once you get that and you start to feel the waves and you're just wave managing with the throttle.
Yeah.
And then you know it's all timing.
Yeah.
Like how many caving ladders like have you climbed? I've
lost count.
It's lots, right?
Yeah.
So you're trying to time it on the tube set with someone holding on to you to get up as high as you can, because the only time you have to get going is when now the boat is down, but it's coming back up.
Oh man, I loved it. I loved it, man. And it's funny because, you know, I did that portion of my profession for quite some time. Spent probably as much time under the water as I did like 100%. climbing on top. I loved every minute of it because it's sketchy, man.
It's so sketchy.
And interesting, like looking back at it. You mentioned earlier about ship underway, probably the most dangerous. There's so many things going on, but everything we do MCT, even for training, it's all real. There's no do-overs, right? No. Like if we, you know, misposition a magnet, for an example, that has catastrophic events, man, potentially.
Man,
right? If
we've seen it, like especially in sea states, when it gets ripped off, the pressure it takes, the force. Where's it coming back at to?
To a whole team of boats, man.
Right to your teeth.
A boat of team guys in this range.
Yeah.
And this magnet is like
it's serious,
5 pounds?
man.
5 pounds or whatever?
demolishing your face.
Like that's just one element, and then the reel, the caving ladder reel, like managing that properly so that doesn't get caught up into the props of the boat. There's so many things that if one guy is not squared away and not locked in and paying attention to what he is doing, can be the demise, the success, or 100% potentially people dying.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, were you on? This is before my time, but were you on Vomitron?
Yes, I was. Yeah, that was wild.
So
that was a wild one.
Craziest one.
That one was a wild one. We shared that story in the past, but another wild one too is I think I was in 2 Squadron at the time where it was underway and the coxswain was managing the boat and something had happened with the tube set just underneath the stern wake. And it flipped. Yeah. So the whole boat lost the entire stick. Yeah. Everyone, there's strobes on and everyone's, treading water at this point. But a couple of the boys got trapped underneath the boat.
Yeah, man. Especially if you're inflated,
and that's it.
It's
right. So one thing to do that, at your buddy's pool or, at the cottage having fun, when you have 60 pounds of kit on and then there's a PFD, right? So personal flotation device that will automatically inflate if salt tabs are in or out, depending on...
Always out.
Yeah, right. But the point simply being is that happened in an instant.
Yeah.
There was dudes already on that vessel. I was on that, and we weren't fully aware. Not everybody was fully aware that we had lost the stick until, guys had basically made a good breach and they had boots on deck.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the safety boats are trying to scramble and account for everybody, and it happened like that.
So yeah, that's the thing, is things happen so fast in that environment.
Yeah.
And usually it's pitch black. It's chaotic.
Yeah.
Like the way everything's just, the waves are just everything's just causing visibility issues.
Communication issues, everything.
Man. It's
awesome.
It is.
I talking about it, I fucking miss it, man.
Yeah,
I miss it. It's such a rush.
It's so funny though, some of the guys from say 3 Squadron, when they would, we worked with them probably the most because historically they were always the maritime guys.
Yep.
And watching them, those guys, even the older school guys climbing was lightning compared to the other squadrons because those are the guys that liked it.
Yeah.
The efficiency, all this stuff, even just how the pole evolved over the years.
Yep.
Just with the hook, everything,
all
steps.
All those little things, man. The guys even before my time, man, long before my time, they're so detail oriented and continuously trying to, polish the boots and shave the ice cube just for that 1%. It's so cool, man.
It's so funny. On different courses, when we do the MCT phase for the SOAC, a lot of them, they never say been on a ship, and they're in the back needing to climb this sketchy caving ladder in Sea State stupid. And they're just, the look in their eye is just
we're going where?
And
up
you're
there?
just you're climb the ladder and you're putting their heel into the boot. It's
and you can feel resistance and hesitation.
And there's been some times where the guys, they're in the back and they're looking around and their hammerhead is deflated. You're just oh man, this looks like a shit show. But it's all learning stuff that you need to, your kit is really critical. You have to.
Kit is so critical and knowing where everything is. So in those moments of stress and duress, you can sort it out yourself, man.
Your brain has to go somewhere in times of chaos.
Yeah.
That's why the rehearsals and rock drills and everything is so important. But to go on something I think you said a little bit earlier, you can't really fake it. There's no fake climbing a ship in Sea State.
No,
your training was always real.
That's right.
So it's like jumping or something. You could go to the wind tunnel, I guess, but you can't actually do it without doing it.
It's true.
So it's just, there's no, say in training, no real bullets.
And you know what's cool is and I don't know if this will land and probably express the value and the importance that I'm trying to in my head when I'm trying to spit out. But you talked about jumping. We're talking about MCT and being a coxswain. These are mechanisms to get us to the job. These are insertion methods, right?
Yep.
Then the job starts.
Yep.
that's what made me tick. It was like, hey man, this was a rush. By the time you get to the deck, I'm already sweating, but I'm locked in.
Yeah.
And then we've got to go, assault the bridge, or get to the tiller flats or whatever. It's like now it's time for me to do my job. So it's like, and I remember, man, like I had a good relationship with all the coxswains. It'd be like a pat on the back. I'm ready to launch the ladder, and I give the boys a pat, man. I'm like, thanks for getting me here, bro. Boom, see you soon, and I'm gone.
It's like going on the throttle. It's like, oh, shit. Yeah, no, it was.
Yeah.
That was a point of pride with a lot of the guys that I was lucky to have as, at that time, they were like kind of 2IC's deck commanders that really knew MCT well, like really knew how to like, when you would get in with some people that were, say if like just boat specific, because that's the thing people don't realize is when you say the boat driver, it's like there's so much more to it than just driving a boat. But it's, when it came time to the core job, which that it is, when you could like insert the guys onto a bridge or up onto a ship safely, it was such a point of like pride. And the guys that came before me that taught us how to do that when they took over the stick, it's like, oh, like you felt relaxed. Like
cool,
when
man.
I'm sure it's like, say when a deck commander or someone that could really lead like a CQB, a range or something, they're like, this guy's so good, I'm so comfortable under his kind of, he's at the helm, I just have to follow him, because it's like he has full confidence and you can see it and feel it. Just even how people would drive, you're like, man, like you have this under control, like you are manipulating this environment, and you think at first it's all through controlling it, but it's like control is like an illusion. It's you're actually kind of like letting go. And that's where you start feeling it. And when you feel the waves, you're just, because you can't fight it. You can't.
Mother Nature is a beast, man.
You're not going to fight it.
You're not going to win that one.
No. So you got to really, so when I came in and these guys were all like the main cadre, it was all the guys that had their lessons, their kind of files sharpened on Vomitron and those rollovers, like guys that really then had to change different approaches or tactics, or even like the boat shape, like Billy, he
beauty,
what a gem.
Gem.
He'd be fun. You'd be going 40 knots and it'd be hailing out, and he'd be in the Red Star seat with a hat rolled up, just getting. We always joke that he's like 35 years old, but he's aged terribly. But yeah, he's the best. But all these guys that actually helped shape the hull of the boat to be able to cut through the waves. Right. The
shock mitigating seats, like all that stuff. Like in the early days, in my time, we didn't have those seats, and we had those hard rigid seats. The amount of abuse that not just the drivers, the navigators, but everybody in the boat would take a shit kicking, and that all got better over the years.
Brutal, man. And you see, like everyone's helmets all cockeyed because they're just, but they even honestly for the different engines that we've had over the years, the propeller, how many pads are on the propeller, how many shape, angles, everything. Like you're dealing with these manufacturers like at an engineering type level, not just something stupid. It was automatic feedback. So I got in when all of these things are basically already established. It was sick. So then you could just really fine tune on your skill, which is because when you got in, you're still at that developing stage.
Oh yeah, there was a lot going on. We were trying all kinds of weird shit, man.
Crazy.
It was fun, but it was like sketchy. And there was a lot of like, how do we think this is gonna go? And who wants to go first? Right? Like, dude, okay, let's give it a whirl, man. We'll see how it goes. But
I remember, like on some of the lower ship decks, we were using, I can't remember what they're called, but maybe you were gone at that point, but they were like a little hook ladder that had basically pegs on the side. You just piece them together. And what we were finding that they were great lightweight. You could throw it on like a 6-foot climb real easy. But in sea state, it would always knock it off. And then obviously you're not going to have hook point safety securing it.
That's right.
the MSO guys like Mikey and like JC and them.
Beauties. Beauties, man.
And like Cyril.
Those two guys, yeah, man, those three, Rob, there's so many guys, collectively those four dudes, and I'm a little bit biased because I love those guys, I worked a lot with them, right? But they've forgotten, those four guys, Cyril, JC, Mikey Drover, and Rob, those four guys have forgotten more about MCT than most people in that organization will probably ever fully, truly understand.
Yeah. When you have two of them that have over, say, 60 years of experience, you're like, what?
Yeah.
This two people of 60, you're like, and they're like 55.
Oh, yeah.
But Mikey, man, Mikey, hey, buddy. He's such a calm guy, but you're like, this is. Anyways, they, when we were doing that, they were like, we're going to attach, say, 3 feet of caving ladder to the bottom to give it some space so the tube set doesn't hit. And we were doing this climb, and I was the last man to climb because when we didn't have the boat with you guys, obviously we're training year round.
Yeah, so you get some reps in.
We're always doing that just because you kind of have to know.
Of course.
So I was last man, and I was holding the caving ladder, and Cyril was big, and this is near the end of his career. Bigger fella.
He's
right?
a big lad.
Big newfie.
Oh yeah, solid, strong as a bull.
He takes a step on the caving ladder, which are small.
Yeah.
And my hand is there.
Oh, lovely.
And
so you're wearing
I'm in
his
the boat,
weight.
and I'm like getting tossed, and he's on the ladder, and I go, and he heard it, and he looks down, and he just goes, "Don't worry, bye, it'll grow back." And I'm just like, I got to the top, like the Home Alone, and it's like my hand, like it hurts so, like it was all red.
I bet.
And he has a story about a goat. I'm pretty sure he told it to us, and one night it took like a half hour, and I think it was one of the funniest stories I've ever heard in my life, but I couldn't tell you one thing about it.
No.
We were all just in stitches.
He's great, man.
But those
great.
guys were awesome.
Yeah.
So back in 2016, I was able to start working with Kydex, and the reason I wanted to start working with Kydex was because I was a left-handed shooter. Finding left-handed gear was extremely hard, so I just put 2 and 2 together, started working with Kydex, making left-handed holsters for myself. From there, quote-unquote, refined my process. Started making gear for buddies that were cops in military, and it literally snowballed from there.
Everything that we do is handmade by shooters for shooters, and there's a lot of other Kydex companies out there, and they are also for shooters by shooters. But we take the time and we care about what we do, and I think that shows in our products.
Like working here, this is our home. We brought it from home, and we created a home. Our kids have worked here, so this is our home.
Chris, if you could maybe try to explain or express like how violent sometimes it is in the back of the SOC. Like, as the coxswain, as the navigator, for the most part, you guys are not sitting, you're standing. You're trying to absorb as much of that force that your body is under. And so too is the team that you're inserting. But just for listeners that have never experienced that before, how would you describe the level of physical, the realities of the physical demands that are put on the body?
It's pretty intense. I mean, during it, obviously that's couldn't be the more last thing on your mind.
Yep. Yeah.
It's been more of in the recovery side that you realize how bad it is. But it is definitely the in C state, it's just like that constant pounding. Like you're in your equipment, then you have your plates on, and it's on 2 straps. So it's up and down. The weight is kind of always pushing on your neck. Then you have your helmet. So you're shooting 50 cal. It's ballistic helmet, so heavy. Got your ear pro, your nods, your counterweight, all like your stuff on there. And then you're constantly looking forward. So the compression on the spine and the neck is pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
And some of the physios at work were like, I can't remember the exact science behind it, but it's like, say for every 10 degrees forward with your neck with say X weight on your head, it puts like 30 pounds of weight on your spine.
That's right. Yeah, I've seen that graph. There's like a calculation. Yeah.
Which it's like
it's all bad.
It's all bad because that's like ideally you're gonna sit in like a Formula One racer. You're locked in. You can't move.
Yeah.
But you have to be on a swivel.
Yeah.
Like say say someone gets fucked up in the back because there's a big wave. So you're cresting it and you land down like 10, 15, 20 feet.
Yeah.
The guys in the back, that compression from top down pressure, whatever, unconscious.
Yeah.
So say navigator has to like unhook from comms or stay hooked up, go back, try to like help out,
sort of.
But like now you have to keep back, be okay, like second man up.
Yeah.
Or relaying, it's like we have a failed entry on the other side.
That's right.
And try to step in.
Yeah.
That's where the reps and the rehearsal comes in, like the amount of stuff that you do. But that's also where the damage is just constant.
Yeah.
So that'd probably be the more like damage. It's probably just a physiological. And then everyone, just like you, it's like everyone has shoulder surgeries. Yeah. Everyone has all these like back problems.
Yeah.
Because you're just constantly, just picture you're on a throttle, so your shoulder, and then you're on this, so, and that's just the boat side. You're not dealing with like the heavy weapons or the jumping or some of the driving stuff. Like
for the heavy weapon stuff, like the guys have the capability, and I don't want to share too much, but I mean the stuff is out there, like a pintle mount, in the bow of the SOC, you've got 50 cal Mark 19 or whatever. Yeah. How challenging is it when the boat is moving? You're contemplating, the ebb and flow of the waves plus a moving target. Like that is, for folks that haven't done that before, that is not easy.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Especially when you have like tracers where you're like, I see where these bolts are going.
Yeah.
Slash.
Yeah.
Or they're kicking off the water.
Yeah.
And you're like, man. Because I remember hearing stories of, I don't know if it's true, but back in the day where you'd have like swimmers going in over live fire.
Yeah.
In that, like, what? This is crazy. Like,
in my time, I only recall doing it once, and they was set up in a manner to keep it safe for that reason, where the template was in such a way that, if I remember correctly, coxswains had basically their targets that they would focus on, and the divers. So it was like, it was safe, but it had, because there's just not worth the risk in safety for someone to.
No, especially when you're like, when you're doing land stuff and you can get like talking guns, you just get into the flow, like bop, 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 bop. Or whatever on the water. If someone was doing that in front of you, you can't do that cadence, because it's like it's like the guys in front of you, it's like, but I gotta keep the cadence, so shoot them in the head. Like it's not like that important, but and I don't think, like you said, they don't really do that, but it's
just challenging. Yeah, it's another challenging skill that needs to be kept up. All of that being said, the demands on the body are real. Body gets beat up for sure in the back of the SOCs, and there's no way around it. You got to train. You got to do it. We accept everything that we do at that organization has inherent risk to it. There's a consequence to everything that we do, but if you want to perform at the best, you gotta do the hard stuff, man.
Yeah.
You gotta. There's no way around it.
No.
You can. Yes, equipment gets better over time, for sure. Methods of training get better over time, for sure. Training and safety is there for a reason, as handrails, to try to keep everyone relatively safe. But I think we need to be cautious with training, that if we put too many parameters in place and try to make it too safe, the realism goes out the window, and now we're ill prepared. So we got to be very cautious and just accept this job is not for everybody, and it's not a job that you're going to do for 30 or 40 years. It's a short career, man. It's like a pro football player. Their careers are relatively short. Why? Because, man, they're getting the snot beat out of them every single day.
Yeah, physically and mentally, just getting crushed.
Yeah. So let's talk about that piece if you're open to it. So, how many years did you serve at the unit before the wear and tear took its toll?
Is there like 4 or 5 before it started? Like, I mean, it's constantly happening. Yeah. But the final thing that kind of broke the camel strap, strap broke the camel's back or whatever, was a big thing we did off pretty far into the Atlantic Ocean. And it was like a full command cans off, like insertion. Yeah. And I ended up being like hospitalized, like thought I was going to die. Oh. It was pretty pretty gnarly.
Okay.
So after that, I tried to go back, got back into the troop a few days a week, but I really couldn't jump, couldn't shoot, couldn't be on the boats for sure.
Yeah.
Because they started doing like TBI testing and like all this different stuff.
Yeah.
And then
plus, just to back up, Chris, was it a fall? Was something dropped? Was
kind
like
of a
combination
of stuff. Like the original thing was we were doing a run up, really rough seas, like bad seas, and the caving ladder came unhooked from the cradle and like came up and right next to, like right onto my neck.
So the hook, the ladder,
like the caving ladder.
Okay, so the extension where it's in the cradle, but it was the hook in the pole at this point?
Yeah.
Okay,
we were like close to the ship.
Okay, so that whole thing.
It came right out. Okay. And then Alex, the Red Star at the time, he was trying to get it, and then it came and then hit the top of my helmet, which put my nods into strobe mode.
Yeah.
And it was really kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
So I remember pushing up, and then I think the ship was banking. So like I'm pretty sure I like just missed. It was really sketchy. Like I was pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
And then fast forward a little bit, I was climbing. It was like, I don't know how much longer after. I was climbing the next to ship, and a decent sized wave came in, and when I was climbing, it pinched me between like the console and the ship. So kind of ripped my shoulder. My ribs were pretty banged up, my knee.
Yeah.
And that day ended up being like a 26-hour continuous out on the water, constantly doing everything. And then I remember we were about to do the final hit on the ship that we were pacing or whatever. And man, I remember telling my deck commander, the lead guy, I was like, man, I'm like gagging because I was in like so much pain. And it was like this zero, I have control, and it was go time. So all the everything just went away.
Yeah.
You went and did your stuff. Along the way, we had a bunch of shit go on. And then we ended up, once we got back to land, it was like a 4-hour transit back at like 3:30, 4 a.m. I remember like hallucinating, just looking at like the ocean, not seeing anything obviously, but like pastel colors. Like it was really bizarre. And when we got back to the land, I can't remember, I think we got like some motels and slept for a couple hours before we headed back to the depot.
Yeah.
And then once I got there, I asked the medic, Johnny.
Yeah. Another beauty.
Man, it's like legit saved my life. Like he's
a beauty.
Unbelievable medic. I had a bit of a rash on my back, and I thought it was from the plates just moving. And I'm like, man, I'm sore, tired. Like my head is
something's not right.
Something's fucked up. Yeah. So he looked at it and he said, if this spreads, just go to the hospital, and gave me some like pain pills. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go rest. And I couldn't, man. Everything was just like, oh man, I was pretty fucked up. I remember I went into the closet in the shacks because it's just for dark. And I remember crawling out of it, trying to get into the shower just to be like, I'm like dying.
Shit, man.
And I remember getting out of the shower, and when I was drying myself off, like I had these like it spread.
Yeah.
And so I called one of our mechanics.
Yeah.
I was like, man, you got to take me to the hospital. Something's
not right.
Up.
Yeah.
So I knew this later because I looked at the report, but I went in and I said like I had a headache. Said I was out working on the water, don't feel good, have a headache. So I was in triage for like 6 hours. So once they finally got me, I don't remember any of this, but they gave me a CT scan and then a spinal tap. And then I woke up in this dark, small room with like people with hazmat suits on and shit. And I was like, what the fuck is it? Like, no idea what's going on.
Hours later.
Yeah, like I had no idea. Like I was on morphine and all this shit. And it was probably day 2 or 3 in that room where that's when I knew later that the like CO at the MO worker called my wife and they're like get your affairs in order.
Oh boy.
Because we don't know if he's going to make it. So what ended up like kind of coming out of it was, I think on day 5 or whatever, they brought me up to infectious disease. And I was like still like isolated, nothing. They're coming in the hazmat suits, all these neurologists, doctors, and doing testing on me. And I legit, so I'm like, COVID's pretty fucking wild, eh? Like they're taking it pretty serious.
Wow.
So what ended up happening was I was like obviously severely concussed. My ribs were, I think they're just like they were really badly bruised. I don't think it was cracked, but my shoulder was torn, my knee was ripped apart. I had shingles. That's what the thing was spreading around. My kidneys, I think kidneys were failing, and I had meningitis. All at the same. So my body was shutting down.
Holy shit, dude.
So yeah, I ended up. I was supposed to be there quite a while, like a few weeks, and I was just like, man, I was the bed sores. I'm just like, get me the fuck out of here.
Wow.
And they, anyway, they ended up. I think it was 10 days, which they released me. And then I went on like medical care from the unit. Like, I don't know if that was like a deal or why they let me go, but I was obviously to a point where they let me go.
But you're in the hospital on the East Coast somewhere?
Yeah.
And then eventually got back to Ottawa and then they were doing from the unit, they were taking care of you from there.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And I just remember being hooked up to like 2 IV bags all day, every day. And like, you could feel it going through because everything was just
flushing out.
Yeah, flush. It was pretty rough. But then, once I got back, I finished up my medical leave. Johnny was like, what, you're going to go on like a MCAT or whatever, whatever.
Temporary category, medical category.
Yeah, whatever it is. And I was like, yeah, just give me 3 months. I'll get back to it. And then I remember going to different appointments and I'd put the car in like drive, but then I'd open the door to get out. Or like I'd forget the code to the house or my banking information, or I'd end up somewhere and be like,
why am I here?
I'm not here. Why am I here?
Oh shit, man.
So that's where, thank God it was the unit, because they took it so serious. Like they put me right into the human performance cell, the physio, everyone got me like MRIs, like neurologists, neuropsych, psychiatrists, like OT, physio,
everything.
Everyone that had specialization in TBI, vestibular, proprioception type of stuff, and super, super lucky. And then they just, again, I tried to go back to the troop, and it was wicked being around the boys because like I miss them so much. But I literally would cry. I'd leave. They'd be in one of the bays, like dealing with all the heavy weapons or prepping to go somewhere. And I'm like, I appreciate that I'm here, but I'm not a part of the team.
You're not.
So you felt like you're kind of just in the way. So it was so heartbreaking, and it sucks because to this day, like I rarely talk to any of them. I love them all, but it was just too hard. Plus, you get in your head where you're like, they're still on that bullet train. I'm like, I don't want to bother them. It's like, you're not bothering anyone. But it's just that mentality, right?
It's tough. That mentality is tough.
So then once they're like, yeah, you're not going back, the unit held on to me for as long as they possibly could.
So you went into a second temporary category, temporary medical category?
Yeah, they just kept extending them.
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, 2 before a permanent?
And then it's like, you're done. Like,
that's it.
Because the harsh truth, honestly, is people don't realize is you can't like be at a tier 1 operational unit because like you're buddies. Like it happens maybe sometimes. But the brass tacks is like, if you're not deployable, you're not performing, you're not employable.
That's it. Doesn't make you less valuable of a human being. It's like this machine, like you just said, the bullet train is moving. We need you to do what we've asked you to do, man. And it's not a personal thing, man. And that's so hard for us, right? Like it's hard for us to wrap our heads around like, well, I can keep going. At some point, no, we can't, man. No, we can't.
Now because you want to be an asset
Yes.
to your team.
Not a
always.
liability.
Never a liability.
That's right.
And that's where your own pride or whatever could get in your way of getting someone seriously hurt.
Agreed.
And especially in those MCT environments. Like, and that bothered me a lot, because when I went to see, I don't know if you've ever dealt with him, Dr. Marcus Bessman.
No.
He runs Beechwood Medical downtown.
Okay.
Unbelievable, like, guy. He was the head doctor for the CAF for rehabilitation medicine or something.
Yeah.
But he's an amazing guy. And he started talking about like that moral injury. And I'm like, you quack. Like, moral, my feelings. But then he starts explaining it as a science background. You're like, man, this is you're like, you take, it's such a big thing, that separation from that.
Yes, it is.
Establishment.
Yeah.
And you're like, anyways. So basically once the unit kind of head to release it, because there's a wolf coming off course that's going to take your position and give the machine what it needs.
Yeah, it's tough, man. And the unit is like, we're so lucky. I'm sure you can probably attest to this. Like, they'll do everything for you. Like, they'll try everything, man, to keep you there. They've invested so much in you. They care about you. Nobody gets there, as a commanding officer or an RSM, nobody gets to those positions without giving a shit. They care, man. They care.
Really care. Oh, that was like, that was something that really started to piss me off. Obviously, we've had like quite a few suicides, unfortunately, with the command last handful of years.
Yeah.
And people would be like, well, why they should be doing more? It's like, man, what
should be doing
else? Like, say the unit or command. I'm like, what could they do more?
They've done everything, man.
You ask for any specialist, they will send you there.
You as the member, you've got to pick up the phone. You've got to ask for help.
You
have to. It's there.
Yeah.
It's there.
You can't do it for them.
No, man.
So it's like, take some responsibility.
Yes, agreed.
It's really, and it really bothers me, because it's an easy thing to blame. It's the establishment's like, nah, man.
I agree, man. And I know that's a very complex subject, and we don't want to see it, and most of us don't even like talking about suicide. And, I've got some really friends, man, like buddies who I love, who they're no longer with us. And I don't want to sound insensitive, but it's like, man, you're thinking about yourself.
Yeah.
You're only thinking about yourself.
Yeah, man.
Because we have the resources are there. We can get help. Call a buddy, man. Like, it's fucking tough, but for folks that cast shade from a distance, like, what else do you want the unit to do? They're doing everything.
Everything, man.
Like, fuck.
You could literally walk into the UMS and just be like, Doc.
Yeah, I
need help. And he'll literally come out of his office.
Yes, he will.
It's like, 3 months and I'll talk. No. And if he can't, someone will.
Yeah.
And that's the truth.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, it's a really weird.
It's a tough thing to people, not everybody, of course, but people, will shy away from having these hard conversations, and they don't want to tell the truth, man. Yeah. The concern is everyone's feelings. Just tell the truth, man.
That's it, man.
Like, it's okay to tell the truth, man. In fact, there's a higher level of respect and love and admiration for each other when you tell the truth.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially with that kind of stuff, because I've had like quite a bit of suicidal ideation, not because I'm like, life's hard, life's against me. It's just because you're like, I'm fucking tired, sore. Like, I lost like my purpose. Like, what the fuck do I do now? Like, it's the only thing I was ever good at, really. Now it's like, I've lost this big void. Like, what are the chances I'm going to find my purpose 2.0? Most people don't even find their purpose in life. I bet most people that work at their job, you're like, is this your dream? They'd be like, nah, man. This is a means to pay my fucking bills. Not like, this drives me for everything I do.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a good point, man. And that brings two things I'd like to chat about if you're cool with it. Is one is, purpose 2.0. You will find it. And it's our ability as men, humans, the adaptation to what's next is on us, right? because we look at our time in the military, especially at the unit, and this took practice, and like I don't want to come across like I'm preaching here because I went through a bit of a dark patch as well, and I pulled myself out of it. We need to adapt and make an adjustment to remember that service in the military is not who we are. That's what we chose to do for honorable reasons. You know, want to serve the country, want to serve the nation, whatever it is. Right. But that's not who we are. We as the human filled a uniform and did a very honorable profession, but it's not who we are.
Right.
And when it takes a bit, when we take a step back and then realize what is it that we want to achieve, what's next, there's so much. There's so much.
It's endless.
It is endless, right? So you'll find your 2.0. It just may take, you know, probably more time than you would like it to, but it will happen. It will happen. And it's tough, man, because I empathize with you and I agree with you. That moral injury and that sense of belonging and that drive to want to just be at the highest level, it's tough when it's gone. It's like, damn,
huge void.
Yeah. It's like, damn, will I ever feel that again? You know?
Yeah. Especially when like you're around everyone that has like the exact same mindset, the exact same determination, a lot of the same values, a lot of the same everything, beliefs. And you really don't get that in just general public.
Yeah.
Like in general, like workspaces, you don't, because that's that, again, one of those like ethos, like that shared experience. You go through some hardship with some people, that bond you build is nuts.
Yeah.
Like you get finished like a tough MCT and everyone makes it back or whatever. And you're just like, you have this weird extra bond.
Oh, for
like
sure, man. Yeah.
It's
yeah, you have a couple of pints and you know, kind of reflect on what just happened in the last 24 hours. And there's like that truly formulates that bond, man. Yeah, I agree.
Especially like with some of the more sketchy times when like boats are fucking up out in the ocean. You have like a mechanic hanging off the crash bar with a cowling trying to get it started.
Well, let's talk about this for a second, because this will put some fun kind of like twist humor, because there is another serious question, this part two, that I would like to ask about the medical stuff. But this fun piece, let's chat about, like, I have a fun story that you probably appreciate because Billy was on it at that time, and he's not a mechanic, but he's very hands-on. Like he'll figure shit out. He's great. Yes. But can you share a fun story? Like mechanical breakdown happens, man. You know, like, so these boats, high, like I don't know what they're worth. Like, do you know any idea?
Fully kitted, you'd be at $1 million. Just use that as a baseline.
These engines alone, dude, twin 300s or whatever's out there.
More.
Yeah. So like,
when I was there, they were twin 400s.
Okay.
I can't confirm or deny that they might be higher.
Right. These things are massive engines.
They're motherfuckers. It's like,
these things go like stick. Anyway, so massive engines, and you know, twin, and everything's for a purpose, right? You know, 2 is 1, 1 is none. So one engine goes down, that thing can still scream.
It's nuts.
You know, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And I remember,
especially once you get on plane, it's just like, man.
I remember one exercise, and it's like we're chomping at the bit. We know we're getting the go here. You know, we're just waiting for the standby go. Everyone's ramped up. Rehearsals are done. Everyone's fired up. Standby go. Whoa.
Alarms going off.
Yeah, we're not going.
Port engine error.
The rest of the stack is taken off, and we're just, what the fuck, you know? And I remember
trying to start. It's like,
oh man, just
do you remember what happened? Was it just?
I don't remember exactly what happened, but I do remember Billy, because he's just a beauty, and he's big lipper, and he's just
crazy, man.
Fucking tabernacle, fucking and he's tossing fucking shit, and he's ripping shit apart. And lo and behold, man, whatever he did, he managed to salvage one of the engines.
For sure.
You know. So anyway, off we go to a slow creep, and we join the fight a little bit later.
That's so awesome.
But it's just his. Just everything's
just picture like cranks and wires.
Oh, man.
He is
such a good dude, man.
Like a living legend type of thing.
Yeah. What he did, I have no idea. It didn't follow up. Didn't matter. We got there, but I just remember him just losing his shit, man.
Yeah. He's so funny. Watch, like, because he's a little like angry, like, but he's so not, like, he cares so much.
He loves the unit, man, and he loves his job, and he's good at it. Like,
the one that kind of comes to mind to me, there's a couple, but it's like This main one was like a sketchy one, but it just showed like when malfunctions can really fuck with stuff. We were doing a dive insertion. We were trying some new like tactics out, and we had the dive team like dropped off at this exact point, going in on this bearing to hit this ship at anchor in the open water, super rough sea, and it was in a bay, so it was really like extra shitty. So as they were going, the dive buoy got like disconnected or cut off, because when they went under the ship, I don't know what happened, but no one knew really where anyone was. And they wanted to throw a T-flash in just to be like, hey, this is getting a bit fucked up. And when I went around and I tried to nose onto the stern, one of the guys, let's say he came up and was like real close to the dive door, which is real close to the engines. So he came in and he had the jet boots on, and the jet boot, one of them fell off. Or got and went into one of the props. So we had to obviously shut that prop off. But while this is happening, while he's trying to get in, it's like, hey, let's go neutral, get orientated. We're pretty close to some rocks by this point along the shore, and we're getting drifted pretty fast.
Of course.
So we have one engine in, the other engine up, in order trying to disconnect all this mess. So you're looking at the prop, and then you're looking behind you with rocks.
You know it's coming.
Gaps closing in.
And
then you're like, hey, start the fucking port engine, which is less like a foot beside you, while you're trying to disconnect all this shit. And then it's like, so we don't go into the rocks. Get up to we get it, and then we get up to the bow or the stern, and one of the guys, he's out now, Matt, like, I'll say his name, and then you can, Matt LeBlanc. We got up to the back, or to the bow, stern, holy fuck. And one of the DSS guys was like yelling, because we had the T flashes for a really bad reason in our boat, not with them. Anyways, they, as we were going up, I saw Matt coming up the stern with his magnets, and he was trying to magnet off. And I was literally like, man, I lost sight of him. Because the wave came up, and I threw it in reverse as fast as I could, and like
just missed him.
It would have split his head open. It would have. It's a lot of weight too. And then the poor prick, what happened while he was on the stern of the ship? His jet boot tangled around and it was pulling him down.
Oh my goodness.
So he was getting sucked down to the bottom, and the last ditch effort was to push the magnet that he had up to save time to shut it off, which he managed doing, and everything was kind of like safe.
Holy moly, man.
It was like that, but like JC was on the deck, and he was just like, and trading. Like, it's like, this is, it should have ended before that. But that's not their fault. Like, you had to get people out. But it's just one example of how, real-time stuff that you can't really train for. But it's in the attribute of the operator that can problem solve. That can like critically think in chaos. It's like, well, things aren't supposed to go this way. It's like, they rarely do. So you figure it out as you go.
It's a great way to put it.
Ideally as safely as possible.
That's a great example.
So it's like, it can go pretty sideways pretty quick.
But
holy,
man, it's amazing. I guess the one question, I could probably reserve it, to be honest, because I'm not sure it's worth what I think and the potential negative that it might generate. And I don't want to beat around the bush either, because it is something that's been on my mind, is folks that are incentivized by taking a medical leave, a medical pension, a medical release, versus those who maybe ought to think about being incentivized for further service. Fuck it, I'm just going to say it. There are people who are taking advantage of the system, and we know that. And there are people who are legitimately banged up and they need help. And it's very difficult, I know, for the system to filter through the bullshit and then really support those who need it.
Big time.
Do you feel in the way things have kind of gone in the last 5 or 6 years, do you see more cases of people taking a medical leave, medical retirement early, that is being more incentivized than it was maybe 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Because especially with like now it sucks because the people that don't need it as much maybe can articulate it better than the people that do, that are really fucked up.
Yeah.
And they get the benefits or whatever. Whereas the people that are, say, actually fucked up, if they applied for a program and just tried to explain it in their words,
Right.
the assessor would be like, well, he didn't state continuously or persistent or some sort of policy jargon that's like, you can't just say, man, I've been banged up, I'm fucking sore, my hearing, I always feel like I'm going to throw up, like I have my headaches are brutal. They'd be like, well, you didn't say daily.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, so now I have to, and that for me, part of the system that it is broke, but it's the same as in the military. Like if you have a problem, like bring it up, but offer a solution.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, for me, the biggest thing that for my impairment, besides some physiological shit, is executive functioning, which is a huge part of just getting through a day, like planning, all this stuff.
Right.
And I have a couple of neuropsychs that side of the testing is consistently really shitty, like over years.
Right.
So you're now forced to do all the things that your executive functioning is used for, like emails and contacts and trying to apply for these things, interpreting all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's like asking like someone without legs to go for a run.
Yeah.
It's just like, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. So the downfall is that for people that have certain TBI impairments, the process is like the same as someone that just voluntarily releases.
Right.
It's like, but it's
different.
It's
very
different.
Yeah,
so,
it's very different. Yeah.
So it's like, well, how can you just like let water it down? Like just have the release a little bit different, because that whole people taking advantage of the system does bog it down, and rightfully so, probably makes the assessors like everyone's just lying, everyone's bullshit. Like,
you'd probably get a bit,
there's something
scorned a little bit, you'd be kind of jaded towards I can see it. It's just, I don't have you just said something that's like, because I brought it up, and it's shame on me because I don't have a solution.
Right.
And I should, before spouting off without more information, I should shut the fuck up and at least create a solution.
No, but it's at least that's where the conversations have to happen though.
Yeah.
Because then you can work through. It's like a hot wash or after action thing. You just how can the system change to facilitate some of these situations? And it's mostly going to be a policy level.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, policy like law is supposed to be interpreted. It can be like malleable.
Right.
It's not like just black and white.
Right.
So say for our situation, which like love being a coxswain, it was unreal, but it's not like for the majority of the assaulters, never been a trade.
Right.
So when you get out on, say, a long-term disability, TBI shit, you get all of your stuff assessed at your reg force base pay.
Right.
So, and because when you're at the unit, your career slows down dramatically because you're always gone. You can't rank up. So like, I'm a reg force corporal.
Right.
So they're like, well, you get 90% of your salary. It's like 90% of my corporal pay.
Yeah,
so then it's like
what, 65, 70,000 was a corporal?
So it's something like, I got my pay stub yesterday. Yeah. And because I'm still in this, it said 0. So I'm like, sweet. So that's sick. Can't wait for that.
Yeah.
So it's hard because that's just, it states in the policy. It's
That's
like,
right.
we have to go off of what the Treasury Board says.
Right.
It's like, well, is there any other way? Like, can we work through this? I'm
It's
not asking
yeah,
for much. Like,
exactly. Yeah.
there's going to be, it's like, well, people will take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Well, have checked, like, the doctors, like,
Yeah,
the
there's gotta
criteria
be a
needs to be
way-
met.
Yeah, agreed.
There's going to be like, okay, you're medically releasing. You're in this category. Okay, you're medically releasing for TBI specifically.
Yes.
Not like you have sore back, you have sore ankles, whatever. TBI. Okay, now it's if you go into a long-term disability and meet certain
Criteria.
specialist doctors, it's
Yeah.
like, hey, we should assess your pay
Yeah.
at the time of, say, the injury,
Yeah.
not like now.
Right.
And it's not like you're like, if I didn't have injuries, I would have been a dot-com billionaire.
Yeah.
But it's
of course.
just
Yeah.
pay what I was getting paid. Because
That's right. Yeah.
it's, as you know, it's like a 35,000, it's a lot off per year.
That's right. Makes a difference.
Huge.
It's huge.
And
Yeah,
now
it's
you're
huge.
like, now you have like a family of 4 and you're
Pressures are real.
now like, well, you can work an extra 20 grand, like, but I'll lose my CPPD. And every neurologist I have is like, you can't work.
Yeah.
Which also plays into that moral injury.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I used to be able to like operate at a high level.
Yeah.
And now I don't meet the basic requirements for employment. It's like kind of embarrassing. It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I'll go be a Walmart greeter. Nothing against that. It's
course,
necessary.
yeah.
But now I go do that and I start to like lose it at people walking in because they're not paying attention to the way the
Structure.
It's like, I was out on the boat with Wolf the other day.
Yeah.
And he was going towards like one of the other guys, Travis. And as they were coming together, Wolf was on this side and I was in my brain. I'm like, oh my God, the rules of the road aren't happening. He's on the water. Why isn't he on the other side? He's going to fucking run right into him. I'm like, this is not a problem I need to worry about. But you go right to that. But yeah,
Interesting.
anyway, the system, I think talking about it brings light to it. Just like how people were saying like vax bullshit for not having TBI stuff with like the breaching and stuff at work.
Yeah.
But it's like, if no one's going to talk about it or submit a fucking claim with specialists' review of it, you need like a baseline data, like
Yes,
a
right.
sample size
Yep.
to be able to build policy
Yep.
and to be able to like fine tune it.
That's right.
And it's government. It doesn't happen overnight.
That's a great point. Yeah.
So,
That's a great
like-
way to put it, man. Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I appreciate
But yeah, you
that.
should feel bad though. Just
Well, I get
Just-
I get fired up, man, because it's like I hear stories. A guy spent 3 years at the unit. He never really did fuck all, and he's like he's leaving on a medical pension. I'm like, for what?
yeah.
You get to fucking stub your toe? Like you get a paper cut? Like, with all due respect, like what the fuck, man?
No, 100%. Man.
And I also know, which bothers me that I know, is sometimes when you read something, you're like, I wish I never read that.
I know.
Because I get fired up.
Yeah.
And there's forums out there of snakes in the fucking grass who are articulating with each other online, and they're fucking eating their Cheetos and their underwear, cheese dick, fucking wasting everyone's time. And this is how you get into the Canadian Forces. This is how you screw it over. This is how you use the system to get paid. And there are forms before they spend 1 day in uniform. I'd like to find these snakes, man, and I would kick every one of them in the fucking throat.
Dude.
Like, stop wasting everybody's time. You want to do something?
Yeah.
Take a long walk off a short pier. You're doing everybody a favor.
100%. Yeah.
But those folks are the ones that end up getting into the uniform. They clog down the system, and then you have good people, good leaders, people with good intentions. 90% of their time is dealing with 10% of the shit.
That's it, man.
And there's no honor. There's no pride.
There's really not.
Like, where's the honor? Where's the pride?
Yeah.
Like, who in their right mind looks in the mirror and says, I've got a plan, and this is how I'm going to screw the system over?
Yeah, man.
You're a piece of shit, man.
It's honestly, I think of that like with people that, it's like it's like they'll spend 10 hours trying to learn how to like cheat an exam instead of just studying.
Exactly.
It's just like, what do you like?
Yeah.
But you're sort of, I've seen like some, because I'd search on Google, be like VAC policy on cognitive issues, because like I get told that you have to submit a claim.
Yeah.
And then you see some forms and then you're just like, how the fuck? It's like if I was a doctor and I was reading someone that could bullet exactly show when it happens, why it happens, all the things, and it perfectly matches with your policy, I'd be like, well, you don't have what you're saying because that's the impairment.
Right. Yeah.
So like what's actually going on?
Yeah.
Like I want to help you, but you're clearly just fucking the system. Like how do we work around that?
Yeah. Yeah.
But people just always do it. Like,
and we have, you know what, you and I are in a different position now. We can put our energies into something else now.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Think about something else. But
meanwhile, I'm the guy I'm eating the Cheetos. Like, yes, I know how to do this. It's like,
right.
well, now everyone just uses a ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Just, you can, like,
fuck all that noise too.
yeah.
All right. On a positive note, if there's a piece of advice that you could give somebody that, you know, is on the similar journey to yourself and they're interested in becoming a coxswain at the unit, you know, what advice might you give them? What might they not know that you think would be worthwhile they know without giving obviously anything away from, you know, what's required, right? But like what piece of advice as you think about, you know, if there's somebody that's interested in it, you know, they're starting to put their thoughts into a notice of intention and they're really going to buckle down and train. What advice would you give them? Anything at all.
Wow. Man, that's a good question. Probably just to tie in what we said earlier, like it has to be something that you legit care about. Like you have to have a pretty solid why. It can't be like to put your hands in your pockets, to do something cool, to be a part of something. Like you have to, it has to matter to you, like a lot.
Yeah.
And that comes out in like your training and preparation.
And when you look back at it, I guess the follow-up question, because you're obviously very proud of what you did, and so you should be. It's a very unique job and capability. What's the one thing that you're most proud of when you look back at your time doing that job? What is the one thing you're like, man, no one will ever take that from me, and I'm super proud of that?
I had a couple of guys, like senior dudes, come up to me like private, like a couple of senior S1s, and like say that was the best, like say insertion I've ever had, or like these skills that you have or did or were really good, would be probably the main. But a really close secondary was I was super lucky to do two HR tours with the unit.
Shit.
Our main job was just a few of us went over from the troop and we were gonna like take over security from the MPs. But it was during, I won't say the name, whatever, but I'd always see like, what the fuck's going on in the skiff, like with all the TVs. And I did Ruits with a couple of the guys that were in there. And I ended up just being like, hey man, like I'm doing these like 12-hour shifts at this like airfield by myself. But when I'm not there, I have a lot of time. Can I help out in any way? Like in this endeavor? And they were like, yeah, man. So I get in, I'd go off my shift, I'd sit in, learn different ISR, different like techniques for that world. Yeah. And then some of the guys like Butch on my second tour, he made me the IC of the ISR team, which was hilarious because I'm like, I don't know what the fuck ISR even stands for at this point. But he trusted me enough in that. And I was really honored by that.
That's really cool, man.
And just to have that reputation at work.
And
that,
trust, right? Yeah, and Butch is a beauty, man. I fucking love that guy, man. He's the guy, he's one of the guys, there's lots of dudes at the unit, man, but he's one of the guys, he's done everything. Yeah. He's been around so long. Yeah. He's still hungry, and he's still humble. Yeah, he's just, every time I see him, I just want to give him a hug. I'm like, we need to make 10 of you.
I know he's a really awesome dude.
He is, man.
And I've seen him handle conflict stress, overseas that were inner, and how he handled it was so like, good. You're such a professional.
He is.
Because when you look at him, you're like, oh, you're just a big biker that's just going to throw mitts. But he's like...
If you didn't know him, that would be the first thought. 100%. Yeah, first glance, you're like, ooh, stay away from that guy.
He's going to crack me. Yeah. But when he starts talking, you're like, everything you're saying is exactly how it should be said.
Yeah.
in like a top down.
He's so good, man. He's
But yeah, so those would be some of the, especially from the unit, is just getting some of those attaboys from the guys that you respect a lot.
And that's really cool, man, that, you know, because clearly he, especially him, because if you know who I'm talking about, like, he wouldn't just give that to anybody.
Right.
He trusts you.
Right.
You know, and you demonstrated in your performance that he's like, yep, that guy can do it. I trusted him because, like, you know, there's a lot at stake, right?
Yeah. Well, I was dealing with like American colonels and I'm a corporal. And they're like, what the fuck is this corporal, like E5 or whatever, calling me? I'm like, oh, sorry, sir, I'm JTF2. And he's like, oh, hey, man, sorry, Bill here. Like, hey, Chris, like, sorry, man. I just need this access to this or whatever. And it was really cool to see the level, and then in which, like, what you guys did, like, back in the day, and the guys even before you, how the unit's reputation on a global stage was, for a short time, is pretty epic how established it is.
Yeah.
Like, just the partnerships, it's not like, these fucking Canadians again. It's like, I want to work with them. I like working with those guys. I like the way they think. I like the way they perform. How everything. So it was really cool to see that, because he could have just been like, why the fuck is this happening?
That's right.
But the second you say where you come from, he's like, oh, sick.
Yeah. Credibility's there.
Huge, man. So huge. It was a lot. Learned a lot on that one.
I bet.
I remember one of the guys was like, we were looking at this one area where we thought that they might be, and they're like, what's the weather for today? And in my brain, I'm like, well, that's the weather guy's job.
Sure.
And I got asked, and I was like, I don't know. And they're like, well, if you don't know, we can find someone to replace you that knows. Not in like a dicky way, but I was like, oh, this is the like this is like proper standard of, like, you're actually on a deployment. You're on a mission looking for someone. This isn't train, like, this is real. Like, you can't.
And all of those, it's so true, man. And that's interesting. It's quite the approach, but all those little details matter, because depending on what the job is, you know, you're doing a hostage rescue, and there's certain platforms that can fly, and you want to know what the weather is. You want to know the temperature. You want to know all of it.
Man, even like, that's one of the things with like the MCT side that I nerded out on, with what you were saying with the straits and all these different channels as like a global, could be a global catastrophe, is like, I love even to the point where I know what the fishing season was in, say, different areas, say like in Halifax.
Right.
It's like, hey, there's going to be like crab pods in this area. There's going to be more lobster fishermen in this area. It's not going to be as low vis.
Right.
There's going to be, or it's like, could we use the lobster traps as a cache? Could we, it's like anything, or just seeing, say out west, you see like Hagpag Lloyd on the big shipping containers. So you're like, where the fuck's this company coming from? Who owns it? Just do like open source research. Just so you can be like, oh, like this port has access to like 500 ports worldwide. If someone fucked this port up, it's like, say 75% of our GDP is import export. Now you shut one of them off.
It's a big deal.
Dude, and each strait, like Hormuz, or just go over the Strait of Malachi from China into the like Indian Sea, whatever. You shut that off. That's a
choke point.
You know, or Panama or Gibraltar, like from the Mediterranean into the, like, this is huge issues.
Oh yeah.
So like, I loved it though, because you got supported in that stuff. You're like, hey man, I want to learn this type of shit, because it is, like you said, it's important. It's
pretty cool.
You gotta, anyways.
But
it's all the little details.
It is the details, man. This matter. Yeah, I love it, buddy. This is great. I lost track. Holy crap, we got another one coming up in 10 minutes, man. This is good. Well, it's a great chat, buddy. Anything else you want to share before we wrap it up? And I just want to say, you know, genuinely, thank you for taking the time, man. This was a great chat, and honestly, we could crack a couple pints here and probably chat for another 10 hours.
100%.
So,
yeah, that'll definitely, like, all my neurologists would be like, watch or something to see like he's drinking. Like, I'll be.
Oh yeah, no. I meant near beers. I meant the zeros.
No, man.
Just the flavored ones.
It's like, obviously, it's like you're not really like older than me, but when I first met you, like, I was like, man, like, and then hearing stories about you, even just the reputation that you've conducted with yourself. So I'm really honored that you wanted to even chat about it. And when Josh said that you wanted to chat about MCT, I'm like, man, he could probably talk about more MCT than me. But no, no, honored to talk to you, man, and hopefully we can do it again.
Yeah.
But the only thing I'd like to end on would probably tie back to that mental health suicide stuff. Yeah, man, like if you're having issues, anyone, just reach out.
Yes.
Just God, fuck, please just reach
Yes.
out. Just or talk to your, because my thing is like, if I can talk about it, I won't do it. It's kind of my purge valve. But if I let it pent up and build, even if it's embarrassing, then it's probably going to start to snowball. But if I say it, it's like, oh, well, then I'm not going to do it. Because if I did it, I wouldn't.
Right.
I'm not going to be like, I'm going to commit suicide tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like I'm not. But
Right.
it's like, if I can stay on top of it,
Yeah.
that's how I've been handling it.
Your purge valve. That's a good way to look at it, man.
But
Yeah.
just find your purge valve.
Yeah.
like,
good advice.
whatever
Great
it
advice.
is.
Yeah.
But,
absolutely, man.
But yeah, no, next time we should, we'll start it with that idea we had about being like the kidded up.
Yeah. That'd be
But
good.
no, thanks a lot, buddy. I really
Part two.
appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
I'm sweating, sorry.
Okay.